Maker of vital fighter jets sidelined, but there is a new offer that could get union members back to work. I'm Michael Calhoun with the latest.
I'm Debbie Monterrey.
Could President Donald Trump's plan to import beef from Argentina hurt Missouri cattle ranchers? I'm Sean Malone with that story coming up.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. Clouds on the increase today, perhaps a late day shower, high 63.
I'm Joe Pott. It was another rough night on home ice for the Blues. I've got the details and highlights coming up in sports.
It is time for CBS News. At the tone, it is 6 o'clock in Mid-America.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Eggland's Best.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. We begin with developing news on trade talks. President Trump has just canceled negotiations with Canada.
The president is upset with an anti-tariff ad released by the province of Ontario. It features a 1987 radio address given by the late President Ronald Reagan, in which he said tariffs lead to fierce trade wars that hurt Americans.
Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs.
The Ronald Reagan Foundation says the ad used selective audio and misrepresents Reagan's address. Canada is the U.S.'s second largest trading partner after Mexico. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Stick a fork in it. The entire east wing of the White House is now entirely gone, demolished. The first lawsuit's been filed by a couple in Virginia to try to stop any further damage from the president's plan to build a massive new ballroom. This tourist weighed in.
I think it's incredibly unfortunate. I think he was dishonest about his intent in terms of we're not going to touch anything, like it's going to be close but not touching, and then now we're completely demolishing it.
The White House insists the president has full legal authority. Years accused of faking an injury to leave a game early. His attorney, Jim Trusty.
You know what's critical about all this? And our day will come, but he had medical follow-up in the days after. He had a bunch of people that he appropriately confided in that he had an injury, and he didn't play another game.
Charges against some of the 34 others arrested so far: rigged poker games backed by the mafia. Alaska Airlines flights are taking off again after a technology outage forced a ground stop. CBS's Chris Van Cleve.
Alaska Airlines and its regional air
have been canceled or delayed so far today. The daughter of a former U.S. president has finally been laid to rest next to her father, her mother, and her sister. Barbara Vorndick, a Virginia school teacher, helped raise money to recover Eliza Monroe Hayes' remains from an unmarked grave in Père Lachaise Cemetery in Paris.
It was a relief, really, to see her coffin in the ground with her family.
President James Monroe's daughter died penniless and alone in Paris in 1840. This is CBS News.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best, better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
A few clouds, 37 degrees downtown at the Arch. Today is Friday, October 24th. I'm Megan Lynch.
And I'm Debbie Monterrey. Striking Boeing workers will vote Sunday on a revised contract offer.
The company says this latest offer includes a 75% increase in bonus money. In a direct appeal to employees, Boeing details the new proposal, which features a $3,000 immediate ratification bonus, another $3,000 in company stock, and a $1,000 retention bonus in the fourth year. The company says it also accepted the union's proposal for more wage growth for senior employees. However, to fund those increases, the offer includes a trade-off. It reduces the annual attendance-based pay incentive by 25 cents an hour, but the 5-year deal does include more vacation time and sick leave. The vote is Sunday at 8 a.m. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Not many details released yet about a Thursday night fatal shooting in the Ville neighborhood of North St. Louis. Police say a woman was gunned down in the 4400 block of St. Louis Avenue around 7:30. No word on suspects.
After last year's snow and ice left many unable to get through unplowed streets, the city of St. Louis is vowing to change that changes will be made this year. 4 new smaller trucks highlight the changes, allowing the city to finally address some, but not all, side streets. The city's COO, Ben Johnson, adds they will also be changing their approach during heavier snowfalls to prevent blocking side streets in ice.
One of the key lessons learned from last January's was what we refer to as windrows, which is where the snow piles stack up at the intersection of some of those arterial and secondary routes. And so we have a specific strategy designed to actually go sweep through those and clear those out.
The city will also have a contingency contract in place for severe snow events that require additional plows and manpower.
Senator Josh Hawley says he does not support President Trump's plan to lower the cost of beef.
Senator Hawley, whose wife was a cattle farmer, is in opposition to Trump's plan to import beef from Argentina, saying it would hurt the wrong people.
I don't want to see our cattle ranchers get hurt. They're not the problem here. So I'm not in favor of depressing the price for cattle ranchers, and I'm not in favor of buying foreign beef from anywhere.
Hawley instead says the real culprit are the meatpacking companies driving up the price, with only 4 major companies making up the majority of the industry. Hawley goes as far as calling them a monopoly, adding they need to be broken up. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
One of the nation's top Democrats wants Illinois to change its congressional districts, but local lawmakers in his own party don't seem to be on board. Here's Roger Plummer.
U.S. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries' push for Illinois Democrats to redraw the state's congressional map to counter redistricting moves by President Trump is not being received well by state lawmakers. Capitol News Illinois reports one House Democrat said, quote, "I think there is next to zero appetite to do it." Illinois' current congressional delegation is 14 Democrats and only 3 Republicans.
Leaders from both parties offering condolences to Republican candidate for Illinois Governor Darren Bailey following a helicopter crash that killed 4 members of his family. Jeff Buchholz reports.
The Bailey campaign says the former senator's son, Zachary, was at the controls of a helicopter that crashed in a remote part of eastern Montana, killing him, his wife, Kelsey, and 2 of their children, 12-year-old Veda Rose and 7-year-old Samuel. A third child, 10-year-old Finn, was not on board. The elder Bailey had just launched his second bid for governor after losing to Democratic incumbent J.B. Pritzker in 2022. At an event in Chicago, an emotional Pritzker offered his condolences.
This is not a time for politics. It's just a time to recognize that losing a child is, I don't know, one of the hardest things ever.
Fellow Republican candidate Ted Dabrowski released a statement saying, in part, this tragedy is unimaginable and offering any help that may be of comfort. Federal authorities are investigating.
A 3-day cultural celebration that combines visual artists, music, speakers, workshops, and more kicks off tonight under the Big Top in Grand Center. Laura Rakovich is the curator of Counterpublic's Circus of Life. She says it's family-friendly and free. It begins tonight with Bread and Puppet Theater.
They are famous for their enormous puppets that they create out of disused cardboard and other recycled materials, and they animate them in this very beautiful way with scripts that are very relevant to our time.
They also bake bread before every performance and then break bread with the audience. Featured speakers include Roxanne Gay and Sarah Kenzier. The full schedule is available at counterpublic.org.
From the business desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com, the World Live Fire Champion crown goes to Mike Johnson of Sugar Fire Smokehouse. Johnson was crowned at the World Food Championships competition in Indianapolis. It's his second WFC crown. He won the World Burger Champion title in 2021. Johnson now moves on to the final table hosted in Bentonville, Arkansas in the spring.
Now I want a burger or some barbecue. It's 6:08. We will take a look at traffic and weather coming up next.
The legendary Fast Eddie of Fast Eddie's Bon Air and Redbirds Hall of Famer, Jason Isringhausen.
Hey, Izzy, what's going on, man? Looks kind of like you got something on your mind.
Well, Eddie boy, I'm thinking you may need to change the name of your place from Fast Eddie's to $5 Eddie's.
$5 Eddie? Man, why in the world would I call it $5 Eddie?
Well, I was in there the other day and bought myself the coldest beer I've ever had in my life, and I gave the guy $5. And then I went over and got some of those huge cold water peel and eat shrimps, and I gave her $5. $5.
Well, I never really thought about that. There's a lot of $5 going on in there.
And then I went back up and got one of those huge Fast Eddie cheeseburgers, and I gave them $5 again.
Man, definitely has a ring to it. I think there's a lot of $5 going on.
Yeah, and I had about $100 worth of good time.
Well, that's good to hear, and it's easy to do with live music 7 days a week and a big old party going on that big, beautiful outdoor patio.
Well, like Mr. Shannon always says, if you're 21 and in the mood, head on over to Fast Eddie's Bon Air in Alton, Illinois, and maybe take a selfie on that old Harley Davidson of mine.
Who else has got a Cardinal Hall of Famer's Harley Davidson sitting out on the patio for some selfies?
Only Eddie boy.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
It's now 6:10. Let's see how things are moving on the roads. We head back to the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center. Roger Brand, how's it look?
No, we still have the delays on Highway 70, Megan, coming in from Warrenton to Wentzville. Eastbound Highway 70 is backed up east of 47, most of the way into the Wright City Rest area, and the right lane is still closed. Approaching Wentzville Parkway, so you're backed up at David Holcomb Parkway on eastbound 70 as well. Now, the westbound side looks like the roadwork's all picked up because it's good to go westbound, west of Wentzville Parkway. So just eastbound now, continuing to see the backups. Northbound 55, a little slow, approaching 67, and right around Highway A after that, you're back on track. If you're on the Illinois side, there's a little bit of a slowdown. Eastbound 64 right as you pass Greenmount Road. Again, they have a couple lanes closed, both directions there. That work zone really each way between 159 and 158 is causing delays daily now. Next update at 6:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
KMOX AccuWeather, some sun followed by increasing clouds today, perhaps a shower toward evening, the high 63. Tonight, cloudy, a stray shower mainly after midnight, low 51. Tomorrow, cloudy, a brief shower or two in the area, high 59. Sunday, cloudy and cool with a bit of rain at times and a high of 57. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is mostly cloudy and 39 degrees now in downtown St. Louis, and the weather is sponsored by Chuck's Boots, the Midwest's largest boot stores. Boots for every walk of life, rugged work boots, stylish fashion, comfortable hiking boots, cowboy classics, uniform boots, motorcycle gear. Chuck's Boots in Fenton and St. Peter's, chucksboots.com.
Unfortunately, giving up goals has become a trend at home for the Blues. I'll tell you about last night coming up in sports.
It's 6:12. Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe's Special Police Task Force was back at work this month.
The Gateway Regional Criminal Interdiction Task Force had another operation this month. In St. Charles and St. Louis counties, 150 officers from 25 agencies were involved with the central goal of reducing crime and hauling in bad guys. In all, 8 firearms were recovered that were used in a crime or they were stolen. 4 arrests were made for driving while intoxicated, and 7 arrests were made for drug offenses. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
She claimed she was feeding hungry children, but instead she was using the money for herself. Now Connie Bobo is going to prison. The former executive director of the New Heights Community Resource Center was found guilty by a federal jury of stealing millions of dollars to purchase homes for herself and her relatives and make other real estate investments.
Bobo claims she'd been serving millions of meals to low-income children. The organization received about $11 million from the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services. Bobo will be sentenced in January.
A surprise benefit for some cancer patients who got a COVID shot. KMOX health editor Fred Bottomer explains.
New research in the journal Nature looked at patients with advanced lung or skin cancer who are taking certain immunotherapy drugs and found those who happened to receive a COVID mRNA vaccine around the time they started that immune therapy lived significantly longer. Lead researcher Dr. Adam Grippin at MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston.
What we found is that the COVID mRNA vaccine
can reprogram immune systems to kill cancer in a way that allows immune therapy to work more effectively.
Dr. Grippen's team is now planning a clinical trial. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
A warning for parents who are prescribed painkillers. Correspondent Michael George reports.
Teenagers whose parents have opioid prescriptions are much more likely to use opioids themselves. A study in Norway found among parents who had 2 or more opioid prescriptions, their children were more than twice as likely to take opioids regularly between the ages of 13 and 29. The study's authors say doctors should consider family-based strategies when managing pain.
Pumpkins are orange, of course, except when they're pink. An explanation from CBS's Christopher Cruz.
Students at Point Park University in Pittsburgh are painting the gourds pink for a positive purpose. Marsha Haberman leads the effort for Women Who Rock, an organization that promotes female musicians.
This year we are painting 250 pumpkins pink, and all the money raised is going to go to McGee Women's Research Institute.
Last year, the Pink Pumpkin program raised more than $5,000. They're hoping the pumpkins produce profits that are even more prodigious this year. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
Well, the Blues and home ice, they have not been a good combination this season. They have really struggled to keep the puck out of the back of their own net. St. Louis playing host to Utah last night at Enterprise Center, looking to reverse that trend, while Utah was hoping to continue what has been a strong start to its season. Just over 3 minutes into the first period, and the Mammoth got the start it was looking for.
Now it's coming up. Cooley's coming through. Paterka over the line. Now to Cole, walking down the middle, shoots and scores. Ian Cole, 5-hole on Joel Hofer. The first shot on goal heads to the back of the net. 1-0 Utah.
Chris Kerber on FanDuel Sports Midwest. Ian Cole with his first of the year, and that was just the beginning for the Mammoth. Logan Cooley scored 3 times, the natural hat trick before the first period was over. Utah had a 4-0 lead. Joel Hofer didn't make it out of the period. He surrendered the first 3 goals on just 6 shots against last night. It was 4-0 going to the second. The Blues scored twice in the second before Clayton Keller, who was born in Chesterfield, grew up in Swansea, Illinois, made it 5-2 about 30 seconds before the end of the period. Blues fought back in the third. They get a goal from Nathan Walker, then Philip Broberg.
Parayko finds Sundqvist. Sundqvist, what a pass. Over to Broberg. Broberg, wraparound, score! Philip Broberg took the pass, and Sundqvist said, tuck it in, my sweetest brother. 14-17 to go. And the Blues are back within 1. It's 5-4.
First of the year for Broberg, but it's as close as the Blues would get. The Mammoth get a power play goal, then an empty net goal, and a 7-4 win last night at Enterprise Center. Third time this year, the Blues have given up at least 5 goals on home ice. Blues head coach Jim Montgomery after the game did say he liked the fight of his team after going down early.
First 2.5, 3 minutes, until the first goal was scored. It was just an up and down, even game. Teams playing fast, playing hockey. Don't like our response after we give up the first goal. The rest of the first period was very lackluster. Then I liked the way our team played after that. We built something. We improved our intensity. Our habits got better. You're down by 4 goals. It's going to be a tough task, and we got it close. Unfortunately, we had opportunities on the power play to tie it up. We weren't able to do it. They got a power play and they extended the lead, and that sealed the game.
After 4 straight home games, the Blues now go on the road for a couple. Beginning tomorrow night at Detroit, they'll go to Pittsburgh for a Monday night game. The Blues have won both of their previous 2 road games. World Series Game 1 tonight, Dodgers and Blue Jays, 7 o'clock Central Time. Next sports update is 6:45. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Think about it. You take thousands of steps every day. Shouldn't every single one of them feel amazing? Well, with Arch Fit hands-free Skechers slip-ins, they can. Skechers teamed up with podiatrists to design a shoe that provides amazing arch support for all-day comfort. And best of all, you get all this comfort, stability, and support with the ease of Skechers slip-ins technology. Just slip them on. There's no bending down and no struggling to tie your shoes. Just step in and go. Try Arch Fit hands-free Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever comfortable footwear is sold. It's the Medicare Advantage annual enrollment period, and Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Total Information AM on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It's now 6:20. Let's get a check of the roads with Roger Brand. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we still have our delays on eastbound 70 out west, Megan. This traffic reports the service of the Drug Enforcement Administration. That right lane is still closed eastbound 70 between David Hochul and Wentzville Parkway. Traffic on eastbound 70 bogs down just east of 47 in Warrenton to the right city rest area, and then bogs down again just east of Forestell, and it's jammed, like I said, from David Hochul to Wentzville Parkway at that point. Eastbound 64, looks like we have an incident west of Highway K. There's a bit of a jam there, stall or a crash. Can't quite tell at this time. We'll try to check on it, though. Northbound 55 slow, about midway up from 61 to 67 in that construction zone. If you're headed through downtown, you look good. There's just a little slowdown eastbound 64, east of Greenmount on the Illinois side. Next update at 6:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
DEA's National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. Learn more at DEATakeback.com.
Help keep our community safe and healthy during National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, October 25th. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent drug misuse before it starts.
It is going to be kind of rainy for the next 5 days. We're going to have a little bit of sunshine possible today, but increasing clouds, and then a shower moving in towards the evening. The high today, 63, and then a brief shower or occasional showers in the forecast tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Tomorrow should be around 59 degrees as a high. It's 39 out there right now.
The news continues at 6:22. Attorneys for St. Louis County Executive Sam Page arguing the indictment against him should be thrown out.
And those motions tell the story of what happened, and they'll be in court today explaining that. And I think that's going to move forward, and I'll have the ability to talk about it in the near future.
Page was a guest on Total Information AM Thursday morning. He's accused of committing election offenses related to language in a publicly funded flyer.
When the NBA returned to NBC, the network brought back its iconic theme music. Next year, Major League Baseball also returns to NBC after decades away, but don't expect a nostalgia play with legendary broadcaster and baseball poet Bob Costas in the booth. He tells the Foul Territory podcast he's called it quits from play-by-play, though not from baseball.
Father Time is undefeated. I can still do the other things, a number of them, pretty much as well as I ever did, but I just can't. I couldn't reach that standard, and that was my own decision. No one forced me into it. There was no pressure of any kind. That was my own decision. And as I may have told you guys, I made it a year and a half before the 24 season.
After NBC lost baseball rights in 2000, Costas did play-by-play for outlets including MLB Network and TBS TNT Sports. His last play-by-play broadcast was last year's ALCS between the Yankees and the Royals. Costas has called St. Louis home for much of his adult life and worked at KMOX as a young man.
Flights have resumed for Alaska Airlines after its planes were grounded for hours.
Alaska Airlines says its flights have resumed after 229 flights were canceled Thursday because of an information technology outage. The airline says it expects some flight disruptions as it works to reposition aircraft and crews. The grounding affected Alaska Air and Horizon Air flights. Hawaiian Airlines, which was bought by Alaska Air Group last year, says its flights were operating as scheduled. Alaska Airlines is asking customers to check their flight status before heading to the airport. I'm Donna Warder.
The U.S. Supreme Court is set to hear a challenge to same-sex marriage at their private conference 2 weeks from now. As San Francisco reporter Holly Kwan tells us, this doesn't mean the case will go to full review.
The challenge involves a local county clerk in Kentucky who refused to issue a marriage license to a gay couple based on religious grounds. Even with the current court makeup, it's unlikely the case will be reviewed unless there are 5 justices who could potentially vote to overturn same-sex marriage.
You know, the Supreme Court almost always denies review in every case. Some cases are obvious candidates for them to take, but this really isn't one. So I'd be very surprised if they did anything other than deny this one.
Rory Little, professor at UC College of the Law, San Francisco.
It takes 5 votes for them to really grant review. They can grant review with 4 votes, and they probably have 4 votes, but they need a 5th to win. So I'd say that this is not likely to be granted, but we'll see what happens.
Plotting a heist, an overseas company says it can help.
The German company that made the truck lift that gave the crown jewel thieves a lift to the second floor window at the Louvre is seizing the marketing opportunity. Boker snatched up rights to the photo and rolled out a new social media campaign featuring the now familiar scene outside the Paris Museum. The caption, "When you're in a hurry, Boker Aguilo carries your heavy treasures." Boker says the thieves stole the lift from a company in Paris which purchased it 5 years ago. The bad guys escaped the museum on a furniture elevator before they zipped away on scooters. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
AP correspondent Ben Thomas reports dinosaur mummies are helping scientists recreate their prehistoric lives.
Researchers have unearthed a pair of dinosaur mummies in Wyoming, preserved in an unexpected way. Unlike the wrapped mummies of Egypt or natural human mummies accidentally preserved in bogs or deserts, mummified dinosaurs are so old their skin and soft tissues fossilize. But scientists have found new remains, including those of a duck-billed dinosaur only a few years old when it died. And these two seem to have been preserved without any evidence of fossilized skin, instead leaving impressions of their skin and scales on a thin layer of clay that hardened with the help of microbes. Scientists used these clay templates to paint a clearer picture of what duck-billed dinosaurs might have looked like, including spikes on their tail and hooved feet. The study was published in the journal Science. I'm Ben Thomas.
It is 6:26, and the Time Check is sponsored by Jerry Kelley Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
This is Megan Lynch, and as I age, it's even more important that I take care of my eyes. I just saw Dr. Greg Birdie at Ophthalmology Associates last month. I was having some symptoms that I needed to get checked out, and they got me right in. They made sure everything was okay. But I otherwise have a pretty difficult prescription. I've worn glasses since I was in preschool, so I've been to a lot of eye doctors. My experience with the experts at Ophthalmology Associates is that they are top-notch, especially their staff that guide you through the whole process when they're doing all of their tests. You can have the same care when you call 314-966-5000 or go to youridoc.com. The doctors of Ophthalmology Associates are Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. From issues like dry eye to things like cataracts and glaucoma, the doctors of Ophthalmology Associates are going to guide you through all that, not just your diagnosis, but talk to you long-term about your treatment options. For more information, call Ophthalmology Associates 314-966-5000 or go to youridoc.com.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Disclaimer: an antivirus is just half protection online. It will not protect you from snoopers or encrypt your traffic. So get better online protection with NordVPN. NordVPN will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. Save 77% on NordVPN and get 3 extra months.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Setting goals for retirement is one thing, but knowing how to achieve those goals is another.
What are your wishes, hopes, and dreams? What's retirement look like for you? Because everybody, that picture is different.
For tips on building a better nest egg, tune in to the All Financial Hour with host Steve All, Saturday mornings at 10 or Sunday evenings at 6, right here on KMOX. You can also visit yourmoneymattersstl.com for more details.
Hey, Dave, this is Susan L. Ward, and my law firm and I want to wish you congratulations on your 25 years with the show. I am really, really glad that you left family law practice to me, and here's to 25 more for you on radio.
Never predictable, always entertaining. Dave Glover, now celebrating 25 years.
Hey, Dave, congratulations on 25 years of the DGS. That's actually pretty amazing. It's hard enough to break into radio, but to have staying power is pretty extraordinary. So you are awesome. I was trying to think of other things that have been around for 25 years, and it's like, I don't know, slim fast.
The Dave Glover Show, weekdays at 1 p.m. on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Sponsored by Law Office of Susan L. Ward.
It is 6:30, and right now in downtown St. Louis, mostly cloudy skies, 39 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Megan Lynch, and let's check in with Roger Brand. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we've still got the backups and delays on eastbound 70 out west of us, Megan, but it looks like they're picking up that road work in the eastern work zone there. Eastbound 70 is slow from Warrenton into the Wright City Rest area, and it's jammed approaching David Holco Parkway, but it looks like midway into Wentzville Parkway, again, they're picking up the barrels out of that right lane, so that'll hopefully improve. I couldn't tell what was out there eastbound 64 midway in from Winghaven to K. It looks like they cleared it, but now there's a backup through Winghaven, both sides of Winghaven on eastbound 64, bumper to bumper. Northbound 55 looks good at 67, just a little busy between Bayless and River to Pear. And on the Illinois side, eastbound 64, a little busy through that work zone at Greenmount Road, but otherwise, the rest of these interstates right now are in decent shape. Next update at 6:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
We do have a possibility of some sun today, but increasing clouds, and we'll see a shower move in toward evening, a high of 63. We're not talking about a ton of rain, but showers in the forecast every day. A brief shower tomorrow, maybe 2, a high of 59. Occasional rain on Sunday with a high of 57. Again, it's 39 degrees now.
It's 6:31. After last winter's meltdown, St. Louis City Hall plans to change how it handles snowfall removal.
The city is introducing new, smaller trucks and plows to allow them to finally address some side streets. However, a major issue last year was then Streets Director Bethany Williams being misled by plow drivers on the conditions of roads they were meant to cover. Interim Director Kent Flake says this winter will be different.
So the big deal is communicate. With this administration, we're in constant communication every day. And I don't see that being an issue at all.
Other changes include higher wages and incentives for plow drivers, and a new pilot program to make salt accessible for community organizations is in the works. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
A new state commission in Illinois will investigate allegations of harassment, intimidation, and brutality by ICE agents during the enforcement operations in Chicago. Governor Pritzker signing an executive order to create the Illinois Accountability Commission. Pritzker criticizes Gregory Bovino, the chief patrol agent in charge of the Chicago operation.
U.S. citizens and legal residents being detained for hours, kids being zip-tied. These are all things that the superiors and supervisors, including Bovino and the people above him, should be holding people accountable for and pulling them off the line. And some of them should be fired, but that's not happening. So we've got to do the work.
The commission will collect evidence like videos and firsthand testimony.
Pinching pennies at your house? We're told more and more retailers are running out of 1-cent coins.
Under President Trump's orders, the U.S. Mint made the last pennies in August. Each one costs almost 4 cents to make.
Now more retailers are running out of pennies and can't make change. Some, like Gene Felton, owner of the Star Store in Langley, Washington, are rounding off transactions to the nearest nickel.
For 80% of our business, we don't transact pennies. It's just not worth the hole in my pocket.
At least 10 states have laws against rounding off to the nearest nickel. Several retail groups are asking Congress to pass a federal law allowing it. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
The news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. It is 6:33, and when we come back, we'll get you your Money Minute from Bloomberg here on Total Information AM.
Let me tell you about this new Pretzel Cheddar Club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Time for your money report now, sponsored by Eamon Gantner and Capriano Elder Law Attorneys.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Futures are trending higher as investors bet on Federal Reserve interest rate cuts ahead of a key inflation reading today. Analysts predict consumer prices crept higher last month. About 12,000 unionized Starbucks workers at 650 stores will be holding strike authorization votes today as a wave of rallies and pickets get underway at locations across the country. They're fighting for better contracts. Expect more delays and cancellations from Alaska Air today following another IT outage, its second in a year. This comes as the airline delivered worse than expected quarterly results, dragged down by its initial outage and bad weather. And Amazon's helping indecisive gift shoppers ahead of the holidays. It's rolling out a new AI-powered tool that recommends a specific product when people get overwhelmed with options. It's called Help Me Decide, and it automatically pops up when you're looking at options on Amazon's website or app and makes recommendations based on what you're looking for and your shopping history. Monica Ricks, Bloomberg Radio.
It's easy to feel apprehensive about getting screened for cancer or to just keep putting it off. But Siteman Cancer Center wants to remind you how important it is, especially after the age of 40. And they also want you to know how easy it is to get it done. GetScreenedNow.com has all the information you need on cancers like prostate, breast, colon, lung cancer. You can also find out your risk of disease by answering just a few simple questions. And then you can find one of the hundreds of screening locations in the area. Even if you're a little farther out, there is probably a place near you. You have heard this before, but catching cancer early dramatically increases the odds of a successful treatment, especially with so many cancers showing up earlier in life. So do not be intimidated. Siteman will make the process as simple as possible. GetScreenedNow.com. Do it for your family and friends who count on you. Do it for yourself. Visit GetScreenedNow.com.
At California Psychics, we know that when you haven't found love, it feels like everyone else has. Every movie has a love interest. Every song is a love song. Where are all the songs about cats or the joy of early bedtimes? And of course, the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to help you find the one. We connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Download the app or connect with us at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So you could be feeling all lovey-dovey real soon. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Hey, St. Louis, the MLS Next Pro playoffs are here. Join us at Energizer Park as #1 seed St. Louis City 2 continue their run for the MLS Next Pro Cup. See the future of City SC soccer when City 2 take on Minnesota United 2 in the Western Conference semifinals this Sunday, October 26th at 5 p.m. Face painting, player autographs, and fun for the whole family. Tickets are only $16. Get yours now at stlcitysc.com/tickets.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Monday night, get ready for Chiefs football as they face the Commanders.
Siteman Cancer Center game time, 6 p.m. Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer.
The Chiefs, the Commanders.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
On your home for Chiefs football, KMOX.
It is 6:39. Fewer jobs than we fear may be overtaken by artificial intelligence.
There's legal regulatory barriers. There's also just cost effectiveness considerations that may keep jobs safer than the technology itself may suggest.
James Atkinson is vice president of thought leadership at SHRM, the Society for HR Management. He says there's also the driving factor of customer preference. Companies may be able to replace workers with AI, but customers could reject that.
An EV maker with a big footprint in Illinois is cutting jobs. More from Cisco Cotto.
Rivian is slashing 4% of its workforce. The company says that's about 600 jobs. Demand for EVs is slowing, and the Wall Street Journal reports Rivian wants to hang on to some cash so that it can survive the downturn. Rivian's deliveries of vehicles were up by about a third during the third quarter, but overall from January through September, it's seen a 13% drop from last year. Rivian has a plant in downstate Normal.
It is 6:40, and it's time for us to get you a check of the roadways as well as the weather, which is a little on the chilly side this morning. More details on that on the way. Let's get the details for you from Roger Brand. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we have some slowdowns and delays out there right now, Debbie. This traffic report service of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. If you're on eastbound Highway 70, you've still got heavy traffic, not quite as bad east of Warrenton, a little slowdown around the Wright City Rest area, but we're still jammed east of Forestel most of the way into Wentzville Parkway. That right lane closed through there on eastbound 64. It looked to me like they were picking it up, but hasn't changed the backup yet, unfortunately. Eastbound 64 is a little busy at 364. Northbound 270, there's a little volume. Clayton Road up to 64. Northbound 55, a little slow at 67 from Bayless up to River to Pears, pretty heavy. And we actually have a bit of a jam now on eastbound 64 approaching Greenmount Road in that work zone in Metro East. Next update at 6:50 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis.
If you need a new garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are now open for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. A winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of their choice. Enter now at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
6:41. Let's see if we'll have any rain this weekend. We check in now with AccuWeather's Joe Lundberg.
Megan, we do have some rain this weekend, but it's not going to be an awful lot. There's some moisture that's coming at us from the west and southwest, but a lot of it's just going to slide underneath the metro area. We're looking at a gradual increase in clouds today, and a few places may see a sprinkle or a very light shower toward the end of the day. We're expecting a high to reach about 63. Then overnight tonight, cloudy skies again. There is that risk for a shower overnight, particularly after midnight, though 51. With a little more moisture in the atmosphere, I think a better chance for getting a shower or two, but they should be brief in nature. We're talking a few hundredths of an inch of rain tomorrow. That's it. Our high 59. It stays cloudy and cool Sunday with a little more rain at times, but the bulk of it again passes to our south on Sunday, the high 57. It remains rather cloudy and unsettled for Monday and Tuesday with the risk for a shower each day. About 57 Monday, maybe sneaking back up to 60 on Tuesday. Currently 39 at St. Peter's, 40 in Florissant. It is mainly clear and 44 downtown at the Arch. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
I'm Joe Pott. World Series Game 1 is tonight. Mizzou and Illinois football on the road tomorrow. I'll tell you more coming up in sports.
It is now 6:43, and President Trump has ended all trade talks with Canada.
The president is upset with an anti-tariff ad released by the province of Ontario. It features a 1987 radio address given by the late President Ronald Reagan, in which he said tariffs lead to fierce trade wars that hurt Americans.
Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs.
The Ronald Reagan Foundation says the ad used selective audio and misrepresents Reagan's address. Canada is the U.S.'s second largest trading partner after Mexico. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
There's a new way of thinking when it comes to funding SNAP benefits at the federal level.
Missouri senior U.S. Senator Josh Hawley is introducing a new bill to fund SNAP through the shutdown. With the program expiring next month, what happens if his bill isn't passed in time?
My bill also makes the SNAP benefits retroactive, the funding for them. So if there were to be a lapse, which I hope there would not be, it would be compensated for with back funding.
Hawley says he plans to introduce his bill as soon as he's allowed to, and adds he doesn't know who would vote against needy kids being able to eat. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Multiple investigations have resulted in the arrests of current and former NBA players and coaches.
An investigation into sports betting and mafia-connected poker games has resulted in the FBI arresting 34 people, including Portland Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups, Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier, and former Cleveland Cavaliers player and assistant coach Damon Jones. Rozier is accused of exiting the game after just 9 minutes, allowing bettors to gamble on the under on his personal stats, while Billups is accused of participating in poker games that the mafia rigged against people who played them as a way to be close to celebrities like Billups, who is participating. Sports gambling is continuing to be legalized across many states, including Missouri on December 1st. Some have speculated that legalized sports betting has helped authorities uncover these type of things because irregular betting activity can be flagged much easier. Matt Pauley, KMOX Sports.
Coming up on KMOX at 7:22, we'll go in depth on this basketball gambling scandal.
During an appearance at the City Club of Chicago, former Chicago mayor and ambassador to Japan, Rahm Emanuel, offered his condolences to Republican gubernatorial candidate Darren Bailey and family over the loss of loved ones in a helicopter crash.
It's one of those things that you can't prepare for, and I don't want to say the trite, put in thoughts and prayers, but take a moment, try to reach out. It's got to be the loneliest moment for him and his family.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker also extended condolences and grew emotional as he talked about the loss. Fellow Republican candidate for governor Ted Dabrowski also released a statement saying in part that the tragedy is unimaginable.
Mizzou football is on the road for a top 15 SEC battle at Vanderbilt. 15th ranked Tigers will be the underdog to number 10 Vanderbilt tomorrow afternoon. Both teams are 6-1 following a Mizzou overtime win last week at Auburn. Head coach Eli Drinkowitz said there's plenty for the Tigers to improve on for tomorrow's game.
It's going to be a great environment, sold out crowd. Game day is going to be there. So really fun opportunity for us. Our team needs to work this week to improve, get better. We have to play with better pad level. We got to play with better footwork on the offensive line and tight ends to stay square. We have to be better with our second step. We have to be more accurate in our throws. We have to be better in pass protection at the running back position. Our defense has to take better tracking angles. We can't commit penalties that lead to extended drives.
That's head coach Eli Drinkowitz from his weekly press conference. Vandy is also 6-1 after a 31-24 win last week at home over LSU. Kickoff tomorrow in Nashville is at 2:30. Number 23, Illinois is 5-2 as it heads on the road to Washington, which also is 5-2. The Illini are coming off their bye week, which followed the 34-16 loss to number 1 Ohio State. Illinois, a 4.5-point underdog tomorrow to Washington. That also is a 2:30 kickoff. Exhibition basketball. Yes, we're that close to college basketball season. SLU got a 98-77 win at Bradley last night. Those teams played 5 quarters in Peoria. Mizzou will face former Big 12 foe Kansas State tonight in Columbia, a late 9 o'clock kickoff, and that game will air on the SEC network. SIUE plays host to St. Ambrose on Sunday afternoon, 1 p.m. at First Community Arena. The team will celebrate its 2025 Ohio Valley Conference Championship, unveiling a banner and handing out championship rings. World Series Game 1 tonight in Toronto, Dodgers and Blue Jays. Blake Snell starts for the Dodgers. He signed as a free agent with LA this last offseason. He'll make his 16th career postseason start tonight. He's coming off the 8-inning shutout of the Brewers in Game 1 of the NLCS, where he struck out 10 Brewers hitters. Snell is 3-0 with a .58 ERA and 3 starts this postseason. He's 8-3 with a .258 ERA in his postseason career. Trey Yesavage, the rookie who has made 6 starts combined in the majors, will make the start for the Blue Jays. He has 3 starts in regular season and 3 starts in the postseason. He's 2-1 in this postseason with a 4.20 ERA. He pitched 5 2/3 innings against the Mariners in Game 6 of the ALCS. First pitch tonight comes up at 7 o'clock Central. Next sports update is at 7:15. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
We've been here 30 years, 30 Christmases in this house, and we have the traditions that most families have.
That's Terry talking about her experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We did Rhino Shield 14 years ago, and the house still looks the same as the first day. Rhino Shield really worked with me to help me get just the right, nice, soft yellow, and it's 14 years later, and it's the same color.
The main reason Terry called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by its 25-year transferable warranty.
It just sounded wonderful that we could have the house coated with Rhino Shield and not have to worry about it again for 25 years.
Take it from Terry. Give Rhino Shield a call now for a free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
There have been neighbors that have come by and said, "Did you just have your house painted?" Because they wanted to know who the contractor was. And I said, "No, it's actually Rhino Shield."
877-25rhino.com.
What if you had a plan to build income outside your job? At Lifestyles Unlimited, you'll learn how people are investing in real estate to grow their income and make smarter financial choices one property at a time. Right now, join us for just $297. That's a savings of $443 off our real estate education program. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
KMOX proudly supports the Mutual Awards, returning to Stiefel Theater Saturday, November 22nd. You can be in the audience for this nationally televised event, hosted right here in St. Louis. Named for Stan the Man, the show celebrates the year's greatest moments of sportsmanship and those who embody class and character. Experience the extraordinary moments and people that make the Mutual Awards an event like no other. For more information, KMOX.com/events.
Total Information AM on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
6:50. Let's see how things are rolling on the roads with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, busy in spots, Megan. This traffic reports the service of Jerry Kelley Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing. One of those spots, obviously, is eastbound Highway 70. Still a little slow approaching the Wright City Rest area, and it's still jammed from Forestell most of the way into Wentzville Parkway. Also, eastbound 70 is a little busy between A and Lake St. Louis Boulevard. Southbound 61 on to eastbound 64. That looks good for you right now. We have a minor crash. It looks like it's on the right shoulder, eastbound 44 before the Merrimack River, just a little slow there. Northbound 141 at 21, a minor crash. I believe that one's on the shoulder as well. It's just a little heavy at that point. Northbound 55, a slow down at 67, slow going from Bayless up to River to Pear. Cedar Hill Road between local Hillsborough Road and Highway 30. We have an injury crash, and there's a roadwork jam on eastbound 64 from Highway 50 through Greenmount Road. Next update at 6:58 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
In the 70s, baseball player Jerry Kelley decided to do something different.
Thanks for calling Jerry Kelley Heating and Air Conditioning.
This year, the company Jerry started decided we'd do something different.
I wonder if it's StreamYard or Facebook or
Trickle.
It is going to be a little bit rainy. Why don't you take it?
And checking that forecast for today, it looks like we may see some rain toward evening. Otherwise, sunshine for part of the day. Clouds, though, as we head toward the afternoon, a high of 63. Cloudy with a stray shower tonight, mainly after midnight, a low of 51. Right now we have clear skies, 37 degrees downtown at the Arch.
The country's second largest brick and mortar retailer is cutting more than 1,000 jobs. We get that story from Susie Jones in Minneapolis.
Twin Cities-based Target announcing it's cutting 1,800 of its corporate positions, the most in more than a decade. The shift will cut at least 1,000 employees and roughly 800 open positions, dropping 8% of Target's total global team. University of Minnesota marketing professor George John says this should not impact the company's holiday sales, though.
Most of the planning for the holiday season is already baked in. You know, whatever they've got going, they've already decided those plans. And right now it's just execution. So it's very hard to know why this timing, and we can speculate, but that would be it.
Those impacted will continue to receive pay and benefits through January 3rd.
More than $1 billion up for grabs this weekend with the Mega Millions and Powerball jackpots. Tonight's Mega Millions prize, $680 million, the ninth largest in the game's history. Tickets are $5. Tomorrow's Powerball jackpot up to $344 million. Those tickets are $2.
King Charles and Queen Camilla have visited the Vatican to pray with Pope Leo. This historic meeting aimed to strengthen ties between the Church of England and the Catholic Church. The event Thursday marked the first time since the Reformation that the heads of these two churches have prayed together. The meeting included discussions on ecological sustainability, a priority for both Charles and the Vatican.
The last thing you want to do when you're carving your Halloween pumpkin is to wind up carving a finger. Chris Sedens has the story.
It's a scary thought, but it can happen. Dr. John Ibrahim is an orthopedic surgeon. He says the safest plan is to buy the proper equipment.
These pumpkin carving kits have specific tools that are better for handling the tough outer skin of a pumpkin. And if it does slip, it's usually dull, so it won't cause a severe injury.
If you end up with an injury, treat it immediately. And don't take any chances.
Probably best if you had it looked at by a hand specialist just to make sure that nothing is severely injured. There are nerves and tendons that could be just underneath the skin. And sometimes you may not realize that you have a severe injury until a little bit later.
Dr. Ibrahim says the pumpkin's slick outer skin and its slimy insides contribute to more than 4,500 hand and wrist injuries in the U.S. each year.
I heard it's somebody's birthday.
Birthday excitement. It's your birthday.
And today's KMOX birthday shout out is sponsored by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back, family owned and top rated, RennerDoorSTL.com. Celebrity birthdays for this Friday, October 24th include actor Kevin Kline. He's 76 years old. English soccer manager and former star midfielder Wayne Rooney is 40. Singer Monica Arnold, 45. And singer-rapper Drake is 39 years old.
Local celebrity birthdays include Drew Winchell from the Spring family. Also, George Bates, happy anniversary to Larry and Kim Alden from the Life Group, Cindy Holt from the Winchells, Mark Niebling, Shannon Bailey, Anika Porter, and D to the C from down the hall here at Odyssey. Happy birthday.
This is the best birthday ever.
Hey, let's talk for just a moment about selling your home, because if you need to put your home on the market, it's really important that you find the right agent that can sell your home for the most money and sell it quickly. Time is money, after all. This is not a decision that you should make lightly, choosing an agent, because this is a huge part of your wealth, right? Your home. And it could be a matter of thousands and thousands of dollars that you're going to leave on the table if you don't have the right agent. Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Before you list your home, just please give her a call and talk to her about what you would like to do. 314-325-6888. Gloria already has the buyers, and your home is sold guaranteed. In fact, Gloria will put that in writing, and she will sell your home at 100% of market value, or she'll pay you the difference. Find out why Gloria makes the difference in selling your home for the most money. 314-325-6888 or online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date. gloriahasthebuyers.com.
Over here, my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Renewal by Andersen is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Just dial pound 250 on your phone and say the keyword windows. That's pound 250 keyword windows, or head to rbastl.com.
Do you like the word thorough? It's a good word, thorough. It means complete, accurate, detailed. Well, when you go to Ophthalmology Associates, you will get a thorough eye examination. The technology is incredible. It's all up to date, the very latest. And Doctors Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, and Royer and their staff will make your visit very personal. That's because they believe every patient is unique. Ophthalmology Associates takes all the research and technology and their personal knowledge and expertise and tailor it into an eye care plan that is as unique as you are. Services include everything from expert treatment of cataracts and retinas to comprehensive eye exams for you and the kids, and a full-service optical shop with a ton of frames to choose from. Ophthalmology Associates, 3 St. Louis area locations. Visit youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000.
It is 6:58. Let's see if things are getting any better or worse on the roads. Roger Brand is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, sort of par for the course for eastbound 70 drivers, Megan. Although out in Warrenton, it looks better coming into the Wright City Rest Area. I don't see delays there, but we're still bumper to bumper on eastbound 70 from basically Forestel most of the way into Wentzville Parkway. After that, 70 is just a little busy at Bryan Road. Northbound 270, just a little slow at 64. Northbound 55, barely a slowdown at 67. Just a little busy Weber Road to River to Pear. Northbound Route 3, backed up at Monsanto. Looks like a train crossing there. And we do have this jam eastbound 64, just east of 50 through Greenmount Road in the work zone. Next update at 7:10 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Today is Friday, the 24th of October. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
It's a Boeing machinist's deal, but will members approve? I'm Michael Calhoun with the latest.
I'm Megan Lynch.
I'm Sean Malone. U.S. Senator Josh Hawley wants to send struggling farmers tax revenue from tariffs. What are his thoughts on the president considering importing beef from Argentina? Hear from him coming up.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. Another cool day today as clouds increase, perhaps a shower toward evening, our high 63.
I'm Joe Pott. The Blues continue to struggle on home ice, and the World Series gets underway tonight north of the border. I've got it all coming up in sports.
The entire east wing of the White House has been demolished to make way for Trump's ballroom. CBS News has the latest next.
Mid-America's most trusted voice for news. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is the CBS News World News Roundup, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Trade talks canceled with Canada over the words of a former president, Ronald Reagan, used in a TV ad opposing American tariffs.
When someone says, let's impose tariffs on...
Overnight, President Trump called off negotiations with Canada. Secretary of State Marco Rubio from Israel last hour.
That took President Reagan's words out of context. Even the Reagan Foundation criticized them for it.
Correspondent Nicole Killian has more from Washington.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford says Reagan's original speech inspired him.
It's real because it was coming from the best president the country's ever seen, Ronald Reagan.
In August, the president raised tariffs on goods like steel and lumber to 35%, amid concerns over the alleged flow of illegal drugs and undocumented immigrants.
Chaos outside a Coast Guard base near Oakland, California, as protesters demonstrated against the president's immigration policies. Video shows officers opening fire on a U-Haul truck as it backed towards them before taking off. CBS's Nicole Skanga.
According to witnesses, at least 2 people were struck by the truck. As of now, the driver's whereabouts are unknown. The base was set to be a staging ground for 100 federal agents deployed by President Trump to San Francisco to begin immigration enforcement.
He called off that deployment. The entire east wing of the White House is now demolished, and a Virginia couple has gone to court. Correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns reports.
A lawsuit filed Thursday against the president and the director of National Park Service seeks to stop the destruction, claiming the East Wing demolition and ballroom construction were done without legally required approvals or reviews.
Target is cutting jobs ahead of the holidays after a slowdown in sales.
The retailer will trim its corporate workforce by 8%, 1,800 jobs, most of them in the U.S. Target has reported weak sales growth for 11 straight quarters. Bankrate analyst Ted Rossman.
There's a feeling among some that Target's kind of lost its way, that maybe its merchandise is not as stylish or well-stocked as it used to be.
Target's incoming CEO has spent his career with the company. Many investors were hoping Target would tap an outsider to mix things up. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
One Puerto Rican superstar handed out an award to another at the Billboard Latin Music Awards in Miami last night. Rita Moreno gave Bad Bunny the prize for Artist of the Century. He won a total of 11, among them Artist and Song of the Year. Conservatives, including the president, are unhappy the NFL has chosen the rapper to headline the Super Bowl this February. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Let me tell you about this new pretzel cheddar club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
At 7:04, we have clear skies, 38 degrees downtown at the Arch. Today is Friday, October 24th. I'm Megan Lynch.
And I'm Debbie Monterrey. Striking Boeing workers will soon get to vote on the company's latest contract offer.
Union leadership reversed course and agreed to hold a vote this Sunday morning, a move that comes after Boeing sent a message directly to employees because the union was blocking a vote. In a new message, Boeing leadership says it's pleased that union leaders have now agreed to follow your democratic process and let you decide your future. The company is encouraging a yes vote on this revised offer, which includes a 75% increase in bonuses. Approval of the deal would end the nearly 3-month-long strike and get employees back to work on November 3rd. IAM in a short text to members just says, quote, the offer comes without a recommendation from your committee. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Monroe County Sheriff's deputies say a 61-year-old Waterloo woman died in a head-on collision late Wednesday afternoon. It happened on Bluff Road in Columbia. Deputies say an SUV driven by a 21-year-old Millstep man crossed the center line to pass another vehicle and caused the crash.
A Missouri Republican comes out against President Trump's plan to lower the cost of beef.
U.S. Senator Josh Hawley tells KMOX he's opposed to Trump's plan to import beef from Argentina in an effort to fight skyrocketing costs. Hawley says this will only hurt cattle farmers, who he says aren't the problem.
What I'd love to see is the meat packers, who are the ones who actually then turn around and sell the beef to the grocery stores. They're making out like bandits. They're monopolists. There's only 4 of them basically left in the world. 3 of them are foreign owned. My view is those people need to be broken up.
Hawley plans to introduce a bill contributing a portion of tax revenue generated by tariffs to struggling farmers. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker announces the formation of a commission to look into alleged abuses by ICE during its immigration raids around Chicago. Pritzker explains what the commission will be tasked with looking into.
1, creating a public record of the abuses. 2, capturing the impact on families and communities. And 3, recommending actions to prevent further harm and to pursue justice.
New research in the journal Nature looked at patients with advanced lung or skin cancer who were taking certain immunotherapy drugs. And they got a big surprise. KMOX Health editor Fred Bottomer has more.
Those researchers, led by Dr. Adam Griffin at MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston, found patients who happened to receive a COVID mRNA vaccine around the time they started their immune therapy live significantly longer.
What we found is that COVID mRNA vaccines act like a siren to activate the immune system throughout the body.
And that, Dr. Griffin says, allows the body to reprogram itself to kill cancer cells. His team is now planning a clinical trial. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
The Circus of Life kicks off tonight under the Big Top in Grand Center. It's a 3-day festival featuring music, dance, poetry, games, and speakers like Roxanne Gay and Sarah Kenzier. Curator Laura Rakovich says it begins tonight with Bread and Puppet Theater, a group that makes giant puppets out of recycled materials. And
the signatures of all of their performances is that they bake bread wherever they are the night before every performance, and then they literally break bread with the public that comes to see their performances.
There are circus performances, painting and drawing workshops, even a parade. Best of all, it's free and family-friendly. The full schedule is at counterpublic.org.
The Business Desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. Thursday's social media post announcing the closure of Alton's Rock Spring Golf Course drew a quick response from the city's Facebook account. Leaders say the current operator has decided not to renew their lease, but that does not mean the longtime recreation area will be shuttered on October 31st.
The operator's post cited ongoing frustrations with cart path maintenance and building upkeep. The City of Alton response says they've gotten inquiries from potential new operators and are excited to turn the page.
It is 7:08, and when we come back, traffic and weather. Stay with us here on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Think about it. You take thousands of steps every day. Shouldn't every single one of them feel amazing? Well, with Arch Fit hands-free Skechers slip-ins, they can. Skechers teamed up with podiatrists to design a shoe that provides amazing arch support for all-day comfort. And best of all, you get all this comfort, stability, and support with the ease of Skechers slip-ins technology. Just slip them on. There's no bending down and no struggling to tie your shoes. Just step in and go. Try Arch Fit hands-free Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever comfortable footwear is sold.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. McKelvey is on the move with 3 new communities and prime locations opening soon. The early bird gets the worm, so get your pick of the home sites and the best prices first. Join our VIP list at McKelveyHomes.com. Strawberry Farms is located on Mexico Road, east of Highway K from the 480s. Post Farms on Highway N near Duello Road from the 540s, or the Reserve in Wildwood at Highways 109 and 100 from $560,000 to $1 million plus. It's a great time to move up to McKelvey.
You know, I once met a guy who said his retirement plan was winning the lottery. I said, buddy, that's not a strategy. That's a sitcom episode. I'm Gary Goldberg, and after 37 years in financial strategies, I can promise you this. Real planning works a whole lot better than lucky numbers. At Financial and Tax Strategies, I'll help you retire younger, richer, and with less anxiety. Tune in to Wealth and Wisdom with Gary Goldberg every Saturday morning at 7 here on KMOX.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
It is now 7:10, and this is Total Information AM. Let's get you caught up on traffic and weather, starting with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Debbie, in the dark, I sort of thought that they were picking up the road work eastbound 70 between David Holcomb and Wentzville Parkway, but, you know, I have a view of it now with the daylight, and I can see the flashing lights in the distance. The roadwork's not picked up yet. I mean, I can see the barricades in the right lane, eastbound 70 as you approach Wentzville Parkway. So it's a solid jam back to Forest Stell right now on eastbound 70 because of it. So just have a little patience, running a little late there. Northbound 55, of course, into the work zone at 67. You're slowed down there, but north of there, it looks good up across the river to Pear. And in the work zone in Metro East, eastbound 64, bumper to bumper from 50 all the way through Greenmount Road in that construction area. That's eastbound, not westbound. And it looks like we have a train crossing Route 3 at Monsanto. Northbound Route 3 is backed up to Judith, and southbound Route 3 is almost jammed back to the Poplar Street Bridge at this time. Ellington and Bermuda, we have a rescue crash on the north side as well. Next update at 7:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Some early sun will give way to increasing clouds today. There may be a sprinkle toward evening, high 63. Tonight, cloudy with a passing shower, mainly after midnight, low 51. Tomorrow, a cloudy, cool day with a shower in places, the high 59. Sunday, cloudy and remaining cool with a bit of rain from time to time, high 57. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
A few high clouds this morning, 41 degrees in Florissant, 38 in St. Peters, 38 downtown at the Arch.
Blues had Utah at Enterprise Center last night. I'll tell you what happened in that one coming up in sports.
It is 7:12, and KMOX's Stuart McMillan reports on the latest operation by Governor Kehoe's Special Police Task Force.
Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe announced the new Gateway Regional Criminal Interdiction Task Force back in June and includes 25 different police agencies in St. Charles and St. Louis counties. Their October operation saw 122 warrants cleared, 35 total arrests made. The task force is under the umbrella of the governor's Safer Missouri Anti-Crime Plan.
Federal authorities now investigating the fatal crash of a helicopter carrying 4 relatives of Republican candidate for Illinois Governor Darren Bailey. Jeff Buckholtz reports.
The Bailey campaign says the crash in a remote area of eastern Montana killed his son, Zachary, along with Zachary's wife, Kelsey, and two of their children, 12-year-old Veda Rose and 7-year-old Samuel. Another child, 10-year-old Finn, was not on the chopper. Just a month ago, Darren Bailey launched his second bid for the Republican nomination in the governor's race after being the party's nominee in 2022. At an event in Chicago, Governor Pritzker grew emotional as he talked about the loss.
I cannot imagine losing a child, losing two grandchildren, and what they must be going through.
He offered his condolences, as did fellow Republican candidate Ted Dabrowski.
A challenge to same-sex marriage set to go before a private conference of the U.S. Supreme Court on November 7th. San Francisco reporter Holly Kwan tells us one legal expert doesn't expect it to go very far.
The challenge comes from a local county clerk from Kentucky who refused to issue a marriage license to a gay couple on religious grounds. She maintained she was acting under God's authority and that they could get a license in another county. In 2015, the Obergefell case established a constitutional right to same-sex marriage. Rory Little is professor at UC College of the Law, San Francisco.
Why grant review just to lose? So you try to grant review if you think you've got 5 votes to win. Sometimes the question is so important that you vote to review it and you're not even sure how it's going to go. This is not an important question. Obergefell decided that there's a right to same-sex marriage, and nobody has questioned that since. In fact, it's been widely accepted by the public.
If the justices deny the review, that announcement could come as soon as Monday, November 10th.
The White House Rockwells headed to auction.
Norman Rockwell's 4-panel drawing depicting 2 U.S. senators, a Scottish military officer, and Miss America gathered around Press Secretary Stephen T. Early, waiting to see President Franklin Roosevelt, will be sold at auction in Dallas, November 14th. The work was on display at the White House for 44 years on loan from the Early family. It appeared in the Saturday Evening Post in 1943. After a court dispute among Early's descendants, So You Want to See the President is expected to bring in between $4 and $6 million. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
The Blues have really struggled on home ice this season, and they've really struggled to keep the puck out of the back of their net. St. Louis playing host to Utah last night at Enterprise Center, looking to reverse that trend. Meanwhile, the Mammoth hoping to continue what has been a strong start to their season. Just over 3 minutes into the first period, and Utah got the start that it was looking for.
Now it's coming up. Cooley's coming through. Paterka over the line. Now to Cole, walking down the middle, shoots and scores. Ian Cole, 5-hole on Joel Hofer. The first shot on goal heads to the back of the net. 1-0 Utah.
Chris Kerber on FanDuel Sports Midwest. Ian Cole with his first of the year, and that was just the beginning. Logan Cooley would score 3 times in the period. Yes, the natural hat trick before the first period was over. It was 4-0 Utah. Joel Hofer didn't make it out of the period. He surrendered the first 3 goals on just 6 shots against, and then Jordan Bennington took over. It was 4-0 after the first period. The Blues scored twice in the second before Clayton Keller, who was born in Chesterfield and grew up in Swansea, Illinois, made it a 5-2 game just before the end of the period. The Blues fight back in the third. They get a goal from Nathan Walker and then from Philip Broberg.
Parayko finds Sundqvist. Sundqvist, what a pass. Over to Broberg. Broberg, wraparound, score! Philip Broberg took the pass, and Sundqvist said, tuck it in, my sweetest brother. 14-17 to go. And the Blues are back within 1. It's 5-4.
That was the first of the year for Broberg, and unfortunately, it was as close as the Blues would get. Utah adds a power play goal, then an empty net goal for a 7-4 win last night at Enterprise Center. This is the 3rd time this year now that the Blues have given up at least 5 goals in a game on home ice. Now, despite the lopsided loss, Blues head coach Jim Montgomery after the game did say he liked the fight of his team after it went down early.
First 2.5, 3 minutes, still the first goal was scored. It was just an up and down, even game. Teams playing fast, playing hockey. Don't like our response after we give up the first goal. The rest of the first period was very lackluster. Then I liked the way our team played after that. We built something. We improved our intensity. Our habits got better. You're down by 4 goals. It's going to be a tough task, and we got it close. Unfortunately, we had opportunities on the power play to tie it up. We weren't able to do it. They got a power play and they extended the lead, and that sealed the game.
That's courtesy of stlouisblues.com. Winger Nathan Walker said after the game, the Blues need to consistently play as they did later in the game last night.
I think the way we need to play is like that second and third period. We got to start games like that. And, that's Blues hockey, the way that we played in that second and third period. I thought it was much better than the first.
What you like about the second and third?
I just saw run pucks. We're making the right plays when we needed to make them. And, we just kept hounding them and trying to play our style of game, to how we need to play in order to be successful.
So after 4 straight home games, the Blues now go on the road for a couple. That starts tomorrow night with a game at Detroit. Then they'll go to Pittsburgh for a Monday night game. The Blues have won both of their previous 2 road games. World Series Game 1 tonight in Toronto. Blake Snell will start for the Dodgers. He'll go up against the rookie Trey Savage for the Blue Jays. That first pitch tonight comes at 7 o'clock Central Time. Our next sports update comes up at 7:45. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Start updating your home today with Menards. We have what you need to give your bathroom a fresh, updated look. Shop Menards' great selection of bathroom products from American Standard. No matter the size of your bathroom, American Standard offers a superior line of toilets, faucets, sinks, and bathtubs. Complete your bathroom update today with American Standard. Plus, view our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
Your morning news and information. Total Information AM.
7:20, time to get you updated on your ride into work with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, there's no change out west on eastbound 70, Megan. We still have this right lane closed eastbound 70 as you head in toward Wentzville Parkway. It is a solid jam at Forestell, bumper-to-bumper crawling on eastbound 70 because only that left lane is open. Once you get past that point, there's a little slow traffic east of the Blanchette Bridge into 270. Eastbound 64 coming off 61. That's a great run out of Wentzville into the 270 interchange. Northbound 270, a little bogged down right through Gravois. There was a minor crash reported on the shoulder there. Northbound 55 midway up from 61 into 67. You're running into a roadwork slowdown. Same thing again north of Bayless up to River to Pear. Route 3 jammed from almost Jerome now up to Monsanto. Southbound backed up past 8th Street. I believe we have a train crossing causing that delay. And, of course, we have a roadwork jam eastbound 64 from Route 50 through Greenmount Road. Those right lanes are closed in that area. Of course, this afternoon, I'm sure we'll see it on the westbound side the way we have been recently. Next update at 7:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Weather-wise, we do have the possibility of rain in the forecast every day through Tuesday. Not a lot of rain, but just a shower here or there, starting with tonight. So we'll see maybe a bit of sun today, increasing clouds, a shower moving in toward evening, a high of 63. And then tomorrow, cloudy with a brief shower or two and a high of 59. Right now in downtown St. Louis, it is clear and 39 degrees.
The news continues at 7:22. The president making good on his promise to drill, baby, drill in one of the nation's environmental jewels.
We have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation on earth, and by far.
President Trump, in his address to Congress earlier this year, now the Trump administration has finalized a plan to open the coastal plain of Alaska's Arctic National Wildlife Refuge to oil and gas drilling, fulfilling a promise by the president and congressional Republicans.
It's called Drill, Baby, Drill.
Trump's big bill of tax breaks and spending cuts passed over the summer called for at least 4 lease sales within the refuge over a 10-year period. The decision renews the debate over whether to drill in one of the nation's most sensitive wilderness areas. I'm Ben Thomas.
Bob Costas, sports broadcasting legend, explaining why you won't hear him doing play-by-play for his favorite game anymore.
If you respect the game and you respect your craft, you want to reach your standard or at least come close to it. And I think that my standard in a number of areas, but one of them was calling baseball, was pretty high. And I tried as best I could, but I couldn't consistently reach that standard. If you let me edit all the games and just put together, here's the best hour of these three, and then it might have sounded just like it always did or pretty close. But I knew I just couldn't do it as well as I wanted to.
Costas tells the Foul Territory podcast it was an emotional moment when he realized it was time to step away from the baseball booth. But Costas, who began his career at KMOX, says he is still able to perform on the air to his standards in other ways.
It's being called Operation Nothing But Bet and Operation Royal Flush. The federal investigation led to the arrests of Portland Trail Blazers coach Chauncey Billups, Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier, and former NBA player Damon Jones.
Billups is charged for allegedly taking part in illegal high-stakes poker games operated by organized crime, while Rozier was arrested in connection with a sports betting ring involving current and former NBA players trading inside information. Odyssey Los Angeles hosts Mike Simpson and Vicky Moore talked about it with Jonathan Cohen, who's the author of Losing Big, America's Reckless Bet.
I usually get mad for not getting invited to poker games, but now I'm a little...
No, it's fine. Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't there.
Missed that one. So yeah, this is a very splashy story, right? Involves the NBA and the mob, right? Good sound bites, great pull quotes. But I have to say, I mean, and let's ask you, is this kind of thing a surprise?
I'll speak on the NBA side sort of specifically, because the mob, that's not that. I think that doesn't surprise anybody anymore, going back to, your favorite Martin Scorsese movie. But even if that sort of stuff doesn't happen as much anymore. But on the NBA, that is a lot more recent, right? This has been sort of happening specifically over the last 7 years because of the spread and the proliferation of legal online gambling that has sort of increased its profile and increased its tentacles. And maybe not the case in California, but in many other states, you turn on a game, you can't avoid a sports gambling ad. So I think you raise the profile of gambling so much, you get a lot more gamblers. You're inevitably going to get cases like this and corruption like this.
How did they pull some of this off? I mean, the feds detailed some of it, but some of these players would make it known that, you know what, I think I'm going to go out early because I'm quote unquote hurt.
Yeah, exactly. And that was that's the most notorious example of this is Jonte Porter, an obscure player on the Toronto Raptors, who was currently facing sentencing, and a few of the gamblers who were involved in his scheme, I believe, were involved and were also indicted in the arrests announced today. But yeah, it would be you check into a game, oh, my eye hurts, oh, I'm feeling sick. You check out, oh, lo and behold, some guy bet $25,000 that I wouldn't get 4 rebounds or wouldn't score more than 10 points, and they get to cash their bet because, my bet went under.
So again, big news conference, right? Big splash. And Kash Patel was saying, this shows what the Trump administration is trying to do. Like all crime will be stopped, or at least that's the message. But can you ever stop this?
So that's a great question, and that's sort of the bargain or the bet, if you will, that the NBA made. There was all this illegal gambling happening. You might remember, 22 years ago, the case of Tim Donaghy, the NBA referee who was caught rigging his own games that he was refereeing because he was gambling on them. And the idea is, okay, if we bring gambling into the light, if we legalize it, if we regulate it, then we'll be able to see it. We'll be able to oversee it. We'll be able to stop these things from happening. And clearly, that's actually not what happened. Is that it's sort of inevitable. And so that's sort of maybe the corrupt bargain or the bet that the NBA is making is we can regulate it. We can make money off of it. States can make money off of it. And maybe we can do a better job of stopping these sorts of cases. But clearly the NBA is still struggling in that regard, or is still figuring things out in that regard.
That is Jonathan Cohen, the author of Losing Big, America's Reckless Bet.
It is now 7:27. This time check sponsored by Jerry Kelley Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
It's the Medicare Advantage annual enrollment period, and Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey guys, Dave Glover here from the Dave Glover Show. So, what is my show? My show is 4 different people living 4 different lives, all coming together every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. to talk about life, actual life, not so much headlines or did you see what Trump did today or XYZ. Never predictable because I never know what I'm going to talk about from one segment to the next. So it truly is unique and unpredictable. Join us.
104.1 FM, KMOX.
It is 7:30 and we are hurtling through this Friday morning. Right now, it's clear in downtown St. Louis. We've got 39 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Megan Lynch. And let's see how things are going on the roads with Roger Brand. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, they're going slowly, Megan, on 70 out west of us. Eastbound 70 still stop and go most of the way from Forestell into Wentzville Parkway. Just west of Wentzville Parkway, right lane still closed for overnight road work. That's just running a little late, unfortunately, probably concrete setting or something like that. Northbound 55, slow going about midway up from 61 into 67. It's also a little busy from Bayless up to River to Pear. North 270, you've got some slow stuff from Tesson Ferry through Gravois, north of Manchester up to about Clayton Road, but it's not as bad around Ladue each way, just a little crowded through there. It really doesn't look bad at all. Eastbound Highway 70, not much to speak of at Lake St. Louis at Bryan. It gets a little slow at 270, just kind of off the pace. On the Illinois side, we still have this roadwork jam, eastbound 64, approaching Highway 50. So that goes all the way into Greenmount Road. Those right lanes closed there. Westbound across the Poplars heavy. Looks like that train's gone, Route 3 at Monsanto, although Route 3 northbound, north of Jerome, still pretty heavy up into that Monsanto area. And westbound Highway 70, westbound 70 looks like there's a little bit of a delay right around the east terminal of the airport as well. Next update at 7:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It's going to be kind of rainy for the next 5 days. Not constant rain, but just shower possibilities here and there. And we'll start out with a little bit of sunshine today, but increasing clouds and maybe a shower heading our way toward the evening, a high of 63. Brief shower or two tomorrow with a high of 59. Occasional rain on Sunday with a high of 57. Currently, it is mostly cloudy officially, although downtown I'm seeing just a few clouds and some sunshine. It's 39 degrees.
It's now 7:32. It may seem a little early to think about snow, but St. Louis city officials are planning ahead to try and avoid what happened with snow and ice removal last year.
Higher wages and incentives for snowplow drivers and 4 new smaller trucks with plows are key to the city's new approach ahead of this coming winter. St. Louis City Mayor Kara Spencer says these plows will allow the city to better address side streets they were previously unable to maintain at all.
We are not committing to being able to clear all the side streets in the city of St. Louis. That's not our commitment here today. But we are also not ruling out side streets. We are preparing to be able to do those.
Mayor Spencer says these 4 new trucks are the ones ordered by the Jones administration last year, but did not arrive in time for winter due to being on back order. The city is also developing a pilot program to make their salt reserves accessible to community organizations. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
She claimed she was feeding hungry children, but instead she was using the money for herself. Now Connie Bobo is going to prison. The former executive director of the New Heights Community Resource Center was found guilty by a federal jury of stealing millions of dollars to purchase homes for herself and relatives and make other real estate investments.
She claims she'd been serving millions of meals to low-income children. The organization received about $11 million from the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services. She'll be sentenced in January.
Illinois Governor Pritzker signing an executive order to address claims of misconduct by ICE agents in Chicago.
Creating the Illinois Accountability Commission, a body dedicated to truth, transparency, and justice.
The commission's objective is to compile evidence, including testimony and video of alleged harassment, intimidation, and brutality.
The Muni and Forest Park offering theater fans a chance to buy show props, costumes, promotional materials, and more. A garage sale is planned Saturday from 10 until 4. Organizers say a, quote, ton of weird stuff is up for grabs at reasonable prices.
That's a good sale line, right? Quote, a ton of weird stuff at the Muni. It's 7:34. And we've got your money report coming up next. Stay with us here on Total Information AM.
House stealing. It's a nightmare that's real. It's the FBI's term for thieves stealing your home's title and draining your equity. Just one fake document filed with a recorder, and scammers can own your home on paper, drain your equity, and do it all without you even knowing. Imagine waking up to a foreclosure or eviction notice. Listen to former title thief Matt Cox.
What people don't realize is the ease in which this crime can happen. I can take the deed to your house and I can transfer that deed into my name. It's a great crime, and it's happening all the time.
So how can you stop the nightmare and protect yourself? Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO and get a 30-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Don't wait. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now, promo code RADIO.
It's time now for your money report. It's sponsored by Busey Bank.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Futures are trending higher with key inflation data in focus. It was supposed to be released last week, but got delayed because of the government shutdown. President Trump says he's immediately halting all trade negotiations with Canada over an ad against his tariffs plan featuring the voice of former President Ronald Reagan. That ad, funded by Canada's government, uses excerpts from an address Reagan gave in 1987, where he defended free trade and slammed tariffs as an outdated idea. Banks are preparing to launch a record $38 billion debt offering to help fund data centers tied to Oracle. The deal is split across 2 facilities in Texas and Wisconsin that'll help power OpenAI. And the Writers Guild of America, which represents screenwriters and newsroom employees, says it plans to oppose a deal combining Paramount Skydance and Warner Brothers Discovery because it says media mergers harm workers and diminish competition. Paramount's made 3 offers to buy Warner Brothers so far. All have been rejected for being too low. Monica Ricks, Bloomberg Radio.
This is the run my own business dream. This is the colleges paid for dream. This is the retire early dream. This is Busey, where your dreams and possibilities become moments. Through trusted guidance and expertise, through lifelong relationships. Because we're here to help you achieve the life you've always envisioned. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Let the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra take you on a journey through the Nordic countryside at Prokofiev and Sibelius from dark to light on October 24th and 25th. The SLSO performs Sibelius's sweeping Second Symphony, and renowned violinist Augustin Hadelich joins to dazzle on Prokofiev's Second Violin Concerto. Led by rising star conductor Tabitha Berglund, performances take place at the newly reopened Powell Hall October 24th and 25th. Tickets at slso.org.
This is Megan Lynch. My husband's family knows firsthand the ups and downs of caring for a loved one with Alzheimer's disease. That's why tomorrow morning I'll be at the St. Louis Walk to End Alzheimer's at Chesterfield Amphitheater in Central Park. You can find more details at alz.org/walk. Last year was really amazing to see hundreds of people come together to support each other, share their stories, raise awareness, and raise funds for Alzheimer's care, support, and research. In fact, more than $1.3 million was raised last year through the St. Louis Walk to End Alzheimer's. What really gives families like ours hope is that treatments have been developed in just the last couple of years that address the underlying biology of the disease rather than just the symptoms. And the funds raised through the Walk to End Alzheimer's are helping to find some of those solutions. I hope you will join me tomorrow morning. Registration begins at 8 a.m. Chesterfield Amphitheater in Central Park. Go to alz.org/walk. That's alz.org/walk.
From your friends at Lombardo Homes, congrats to Dave Glover and the DGS Show on 25 years of building something great. Thanks for keeping St. Louis entertained, informed, and laughing all along the way.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about the best mayo. Has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo at Hannaford. It's got twang.
Fridays mean football. From the zoo to the NFL, we've got your weekend covered.
All three, ready?
It's Friday football on KMOX.
It is 7:39, and the news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. Senator Josh Hawley is introducing legislation to help prevent a governmental program from expiring during the shutdown.
SNAP benefits are due to expire next month if Senator Hawley's bill cannot pass. Is there an appetite in both chambers to get this accomplished in time?
I hope everybody will support this. I don't know who could be against needy kids being able to eat. I guess we'll find out, because I'm going to try to give every senator the opportunity to vote on this. I'm going to take this to the floor as soon as I'm allowed to under the rules, and I'm going to try to get a vote on this.
Hawley says his bill would retroactively fund SNAP benefits, meaning if they do briefly expire, recipients would see their missed benefits with back funding if it is passed. 667,000 Missourians are at risk of losing SNAP benefits. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
For the past 30 years, the U.S. Department of Agriculture has released an annual report on hunger in America. They announced last month they're canceling it. It gave a detailed picture of food insecurity across the country. In Clinton, Missouri, Leo Barnett says he doesn't want to ask for help but needs it.
I still feel bad that I have to come up here and sit on a line, to get food. It's embarrassing as hell.
1 in 7 people across 27 counties in Kansas and Missouri are food insecure. Experts in food aid say the need is the highest it's been in a decade.
Let's check in with Roger Brand right now at 7:40, and he's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, there's still no change on 70 out west, unfortunately, Debbie. It looks like they are picking up the barricades, but they're not quite all picked up yet. We're talking about eastbound 70 before Wentzville Parkway. Traffic still bumper to bumper from Forestdale most of the way in there, but I do see a truck. It looks like he's moving backwards, picking up the barricades, so they're finally getting around to it. It's just running a little late there, obviously. Eastbound 70 approaching Lake St. Louis into O'Brien Road. That's a little busy right now. Northbound 270, a little slow at Gravois. North of Doherty Ferry up through Manchester. Southbound Olive down to Ladue on 270, slow. Northbound 55 midway up from 61 to 67. You have a roadwork slow down. It's a little busy. Bayless up through Weber downtown. Westbound 64 approaching Route 3 to the Poplars, slow. Northbound Route 3 just through Judith is a little backed up. After that, it's clear. We had a train earlier at Monsanto. Eastbound 64 backed up from Highway 50 through Greenmount Road. Solid bumper to bumper there. Westbound 255 at the Lindbergh exit, a traumatic injury reported. A vehicle off the roadway. And Union Road at Big Chief Drive in South County, an injury crash as well. Next update is 7:50 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Let's check in once again with AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. And Joe, as you probably heard, I'm going to be headed out to Chesterfield tomorrow morning for the St. Louis Walk to End Alzheimer's. So I'm kind of curious what the weather's going to be like this weekend.
You might want to keep something warm handy because it's not going to be cool or not going to be warm at all. Temperatures today will only get to 63 and tonight's low 51. And there is a risk for a shower at some point tomorrow. Is it an all-day rain? Probably not. In fact, I think it'll rain maybe 5 or 10% of the time when we get a few hundredths of an inch. So have the umbrella handy, but you may need it a little more than just a kind of a walking stick. We start with some sun today. Clouds increase, maybe a shower or sprinkle toward evening. I don't think it's anything more than at the high 63. Best chance of a shower tonight will be after midnight, the low 51. That brief shower or two, and that's it for tomorrow. Just stays cloudy and cool with a high of 59. A little bit more in the way of rain on Sunday, but even that doesn't look very impressive. I think most of it stays to our south, the high 57. Monday, Tuesday, a lot of clouds, a risk for a shower each day. Monday's high 57, maybe sneaking up towards 60 on Tuesday. Currently 38 in St. Peter's. It's 41 in Florissant. Partly cloudy, and 44 downtown at the Arch. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
And the weather is sponsored by Lion's Choice. Lion's Choice, where you can enjoy a quick and delicious meal, but make it healthy with plenty of low-cal, low-carb, vegetarian, and gluten-free options. There's something to satisfy everyone on the Lion's Choice menu. Stop by today. Lion's Choice.
It is game one of the World Series tonight. The Dodgers and the Blue Jays. I've got more on that coming up in sports.
It is 7:43. President Trump abruptly stopping all trade talks with Canada. Doing so, as CBS's Nicole Killian tells us, in response to a video ad run by the Canadian government that features negative comments about tariffs made in 1987 by then-President Ronald Reagan.
The way to prosperity for all nations is rejecting protectionist legislation and promoting fair and free competition. America's jobs and growth are at stake.
That's the anti-tariff ad paid for by the province of Ontario that caught President Trump's attention, prompting him to declare all trade negotiations with Canada are hereby terminated. He also called the ad fake and accused Canada of trying to influence the Supreme Court, which is considering a case about whether the president has the authority to raise tariffs.
The NBA says it's cooperating with the investigation into a betting scandal involving celebrities, the mafia, and big names in sports. More from CBS's Elaine Quijano.
The allegations against 34 defendants, from NBA players to mafia members, have shaken the sports world. One case details an illegal rigged poker operation involving 4 of New York's most notorious organized crime families and celebrities to lure victims known as fish.
What the victims, the fish, didn't know is that everybody else at the poker game, from the dealer to the players, were in on the scam.
U.S. Attorney Joseph Nasello also says technology, including special contact lenses or eyeglasses, read pre-market cards helped by the cheaters. Basketball Hall of Famer and current coach of the Portland Trailblazers, Chauncey Billups, allegedly one of those celebrities known as a face card to attract the fish. In a statement, Billups' attorney wrote they will fight the charges, adding anyone who knows Chauncey Billups knows he's a man of integrity. Men of integrity do not cheat and defraud others.
World Series gets underway tonight in Toronto. It's the Dodgers playing at the Blue Jays. Blake Snell is going to make the start for the Dodgers tonight. He signed with the Dodgers as a free agent last offseason. He's going to make his 16th career postseason start this evening. He's coming off the 8-inning shutout of the Brewers. That was in Game 1 of the NLCS, where he struck out 10 hitters. Snell is 3-0 with a 0.58 ERA in 3 starts this postseason. And in his career, he is 8-3 with a 2.58 ERA in his postseason career. Snell has made 2 World Series starts. How about this? They both came in 2020 against the Dodgers, and now he goes for the Dodgers tonight. Now contrast that to 22-year-old Trey Yesavage. He's made 6 starts combined in the majors. 3 of them coming during the postseason after making just 3 starts in the regular season for the Blue Jays. He began the year in Single A. He's 2-1 this postseason with a 4.2 ERA. He pitched 5 2/3 innings against the Mariners in Game 6 of the ALCS. First pitch tonight comes up at 7 o'clock Central. Mizzou is on the road for a top 15 SEC football battle at Vanderbilt. The 15th-ranked Tigers will be the underdog to number 10 Vanderbilt tomorrow afternoon. Both teams are 6-1 following a Mizzou overtime win last week at Auburn. Head coach Eli Drinkowitz said there's plenty for his Tigers to improve on in tomorrow's game.
It's going to be a great environment, sold-out crowd. Game day is going to be there. So really fun opportunity for us. Our team needs to work this week to improve, get better. We have to play with better pad level. We got to play with better footwork on the offensive line and tight ends to stay square. We have to be better with our second step. We have to be more accurate in our throws. We have to be better in pass protection at the running back position. Our defense has to take better tracking angles. We can't commit penalties that lead to extended drives.
That's Eli Drinkowitz from his weekly press conference. Vandy is also 6-1 after a 31-24 win last week at home over LSU. Kickoff tomorrow is 2:30. Number 23, Illinois. They are 5-2 as they head on the road to Washington, also 5-2. The Illini are coming off their bye week, and that followed the 34-16 loss to number 1 Ohio State. The Illini are a 4.5-point underdog tomorrow. That game also a 2:30 kickoff at Washington. Exhibition basketball. Last night, St. Louis got a 98-77 win at Bradley. Those two teams played 5 quarters in Peoria. Mizzou faces Kansas State tonight in Columbia. That will be a 9 o'clock tip-off, and that's going to be an SEC network broadcast. SIUE will host St. Ambrose Sunday afternoon in Edwardsville. They'll raise championship banners and hand out championship rings celebrating the 2025 Ohio Valley Conference Championship. The Blues faced Utah last night at Enterprise Center. Things didn't go well. They were down 4-0 after a period, down 5-3 here in the third.
Perico finds Sundquist. Sundquist, what a pass. Over to Broberg. Broberg, wraparound score! Philip Broberg took the pass, and Sundquist said, tuck it in, my sweetest brother. 14-17 to go. And the Blues are back within 1. It's 5-4.
Chris Kerber on FanDuel Sports Midwest. That's as close as the Blues would get. 2 more goals in the third for Utah, and they win it 7-4. The Blues are on the road tomorrow night in Detroit. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Let me tell you about this new pretzel cheddar club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
If you need a new garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are now open for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. The winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of their choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at overheaddoorstlouis.com. You can't win if you don't enter at overheaddoorstlouis.com.
Now the news at 9, The Talk. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is 7:51, and hey, get your thinking caps on because we're going to be roaming with Scott Jagow here in just a moment. But first, let's get you your update on the roadways. Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, it looks like they got all the barrels picked up finally on eastbound 70, Debbie, out in the Wentzville area, so that's good news. There's still backed up traffic, Forestel, most of the way into Wentzville Parkway, but I just saw them picking up the Aeroboard trailer and hauling that away, so I think everything's out of your way now on that run through, but there's still volume left to unwind. Northbound 270, Manchester up to Ladue is busy. South 270, Olive down to Ladue is slow. Northbound 55, heavy into 67, a little slow between Bayless and River to Pear. Westbound 255 at the Lindbergh exit, traumatic injury incident. I think it was an overturned vehicle, but it's off the highway, no lane blockage there. They did have a second call out for EMS to respond to Union Road and Big Chief Drive, so watch it there. Downtown, westbound 64, slow approaching Route 3 to the Poplar. Northbound Route 3, still a little backed up coming through Judith, and eastbound 64 jam from Route 50 in through Greenmount Road due to the road work. Next update is 7:58 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
And checking that forecast for today, we'll have some sunshine followed by increasing clouds. We could see a shower toward evening with a high of 63. Cloudy with a stray shower tonight, mainly after midnight, an overnight low of 51. And then tomorrow, another cloudy day, a brief shower or two, a high of 59. Right now, we do have sunshine, 38 degrees downtown at the Arch.
Next time somebody says St. Louis, what's St. Louis got?
Well, Scott Jagow has just wandered into Studio B, and he's got the clues, and we are going to try to guess where he has been roaming. So I'm Debbie Monterrey, along with Megan Lynch and Joe Pott, and play along with us at home.
I don't just wander.
You roam
intentionally.
You roamed into the studio, and where have you been roaming this week?
Well, I'm not going to tell you. You have to guess. I'm going to play some clues, though, see if you can figure it out. All right, here's the first clue.
You look at everything that's happened here as a native St. Louisan that watched this area stay closed for decades. The amount of energy, the businesses, the people, the families, and all of the, quite frankly, the economic development, the jobs, the housing, and everything that you see here is just phenomenal.
I have a feeling some of
recognize
you
that
are going to
voice.
recognize.
Yeah, I recognize
There
the
are
voice.
different voices, though.
Oh,
and you
okay.
probably recognize more than one of them.
Okay.
At least two. So that could be a clue. The area that he's talking about has obviously been transformed. So that's a starting clue.
Okay.
All right, here's number two.
We believe there's a baddie inside of everyone. And
A
so
what?
a baddie.
Baddie?
Well, I don't know if I can say badass on this.
Oh, okay. No, you can say it. No,
You did.
And so we want to inspire you to live unapologetically and take up space. And so all of our products really exude that, whether it's, a saying on a t-shirt, or we have candles, we have keychains, that give you little reminders to don't let the bastards get you down, or...
Okay, so
Wow.
it sounds like we're at some sort of fair or event. There's
Okay.
products.
All right, yeah.
Positive affirmations.
Positive affirmations.
I thought she was saying body.
It's more like sweary affirmations.
I like
bit.
those. Okay, I don't know yet, but
No. I figured, but that's to give you an extra clue there. That is actually a store in this spot.
Okay.
But you're right about the other thing, the products and the fair atmosphere.
Okay.
I did go into the store and speak with a couple of the artists. I'm actually an artist myself.
Oh, okay.
I'm an animator, a senior at Webster University.
Okay.
And so I love to come down here. I've actually shot some stuff here on the upper levels of the buildings.
Upper levels of the building. Okay.
This sounds like the Foundry to me.
Maybe it is the Foundry.
Or is it something like the Foundry?
No, you might be right. I got a couple more clues. I don't want to give it away yet.
Yeah, no, play the clues.
Okay.
You are in the elevated 11th ward.
Okay,
Where all of
and
the
you-
great things happen.
Can you describe what you're wearing, please?
So after much trepidation today, I finally decided that I needed to be a pirate. And so I went digging through my catalog of costumes.
Okay. Do you know that voice?
No.
The elevated 11th ward. That's probably the 11th ward alder person.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't think of who it is. Dressed as a
Anyway,
pirate.
Megan, go ahead and ding yourself.
Give
did I
yourself
get
the
it?
bell.
I wasn't trying to ruin it. I thought
Nicely
maybe,
done.
No, you got it right.
I
It
think
is the
maybe
City
it was a
Foundry.
location in the Foundry.
It is the City Foundry.
Was
in
it
general,
that little thing
it
that
was
they?
the art market.
Oh yeah,
But it
and-
also had kind of a Halloween theme to it. So that's Laura Keys
Oh, Laura Keys.
dressed up as a pirate. And then Michael McMillan from Urban League was the first voice you heard. And then the other woman owns a shop there in the Foundry. There's a lot of stuff going on there. I mean, it is incredible how much it's grown.
Yeah.
You have the grocery store, the movie theater, the escape room, the Museum of Illusions. There's that hidden bar. There's the
that
food
golf-
hall,
the
the
golf
golf
place.
thing. I mean, and the little shops like the one that she was describing. It's a gems store. It's not really gems. It's t-shirts and bumper stickers and sayings that are kind of edgy. So anyway, yeah, you got it right. City Foundry.
I love it.
I went to the art market. Yeah, it's a cool spot for that kind of thing, like a fair.
Yeah, I was going there one Friday or Saturday to see a movie, and I was driving through the parking garage thinking, man, there's no parking. And then I thought, no, don't complain. This is
It's a good
great.
thing,
This is
right.
great. Everyone's here. All right, when will we hear more?
You'll hear more 8:20 and 9:20 on Sunday morning.
That is Scott Jagow roaming St. Louis here on Total Information AM.
An important message from S&L Coins. S&L Coins pays top dollar for your gold and silver coins, old currency, gold-filled jewelry, scrap gold and silver plating, gold and silver bullion. Get a quote with a call to S&L at 544-3600. S&L Coins, 544-3600. Or visit S&L Coins at 9300 Gravois, just east of McKenzie. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 Saturday. Before you sell, call S&L 544-3600.
For 25 years, the Warner's Warm-Up Coat Drive has been a dependable resource for impoverished men, women, and children in the bi-state. Together Credit Union is proud to team up with the Kurt Warner First Things First Foundation and Operation Food Search for the 25th Annual Warner's Warm-Up Coat Drive. From October 20th to November 2nd, new and gently used winter clothes of all sizes will be collected at all 14 Together Credit Union locations to help keep our neighbors warm during the cold winter months. For more information and a full list of donation locations, visit kurtwarner.org.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Disclaimer: an antivirus is just half protection online. It will not protect you from snoopers or encrypt your traffic. So get better online protection with NordVPN. NordVPN will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. Save 77% on NordVPN and get 3 extra months.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audien Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audienhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. YourEyeDoc.com.
Let's see how things are going on the roads, if they're winding down any. Roger Brand is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, they're doing better on eastbound 70 coming in through Wentzville, Megan. I'd still call it slow, though, from Forestdale to Wentzville Parkway, but it was jammed earlier when we had those lane restrictions. Northbound 270, you've got slow traffic from Manchester up to Ladue. South 270, Olive to Ladue is busy. Eastbound 64 still has that jam from Highway 50 through Greenmount Road due to the road work going on in that area. Next update at 8:10 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. It's a week and a half late, but the Labor Department's new report on consumer prices shows they rose 3% in September from the year before. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says it'll mean a boost for seniors.
With this report, Social Security benefits will increase by 2.8% starting in January. That annual cost of living or COLA adjustment is based on consumer prices from the third quarter.
That adds up to about $56 a month. Record beef and veal prices, part of those increases. Rents, a little more static. Staffers at the Bureau of Labor Statistics were ordered back to work to put the report together. Political analysts sizing things up after President Trump called off trade talks with Canada overnight in response to a TV ad featuring former President Ronald Reagan talking about tariffs. Larry Gersten says the move could lead to higher inflation.
There are some things from Canada that the United States desperately needs. Steel, wood for building homes and whatnot. These are precious commodities as far as most of us are concerned.
Mr. Trump called the ad egregious behavior. Ontario's Premier Doug Ford just posted to X, President Reagan knew we are stronger together. One of Mr. Trump's political foes is scheduled to make her first court appearance in federal court this morning to answer to charges of mortgage fraud. CBS's Scott McFarland.
It'll be a brief arraignment for New York's top law enforcement official. Letitia James, the attorney general, will be a criminal defendant facing a federal judge in Norfolk federal court after entering a not guilty plea. Defense attorneys indicate they're going to file a motion at some point soon to disqualify the U.S. attorney, arguing she was unlawfully appointed as part of their effort to get the case dismissed.
NBA fans are still stunned over the federal takedown that netted 34 people, including Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups and Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier, in a double-pronged betting scheme, one of them involving the mafia. Joe Varden writes for The Athletic.
It's going to take some time to understand the true fallout when it comes to, does the average fan trust that the product that the NBA is putting on the floor every night is not compromised?
The Dodgers and the Blue Jays face off in Game 1 of the World Series tonight in Toronto. Blake Snell will pitch for defending champ LA.
Oh, I'm fired up. I can't wait. I mean, we've had time off and just been waiting, watching games, but to be here now, and I ain't been in Toronto for a little while. That's beautiful.
Rookie Trey Savage gets the start for the home team. Dow futures are up 220. This is CBS News.
The annual Progressive Keys to Progress program provides vehicles to deserving veterans, helping our heroes drive their lives forward. Learn more at keystoprogress.com.
At 8:03, we have sunny skies, 39 degrees downtown at the Arch. Today is Friday, October 24th. I'm Megan Lynch. The long and bitter strike at Boeing could finally come to an end this weekend.
It's a big development. The Machinists Union leadership is now agreeing to let its members vote on the company's latest contract offer after refusing to put the deal on the table the other day. A vote for the more than 3,200 striking workers is now set for this Sunday, 8 to 11 a.m. In a message sent to employees, the company confirms the vote and says if the deal is approved, everyone will be back to work with benefits reinstated by Monday, November 3rd. The company's revised offer includes a 75% increase in bonus money and more wage growth for senior employees. A text from the union to members simply says, quote, "This offer comes without a recommendation from your committee." Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
An overnight shooting in North St. Louis County leaves one person injured. It happened before 1:30 near the Phillips 66 gas station on Chambers west of Halls Ferry. The victim was taken to a hospital for treatment. Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe's Special Police Task Force back at work this month.
The Gateway Regional Criminal Interdiction Task Force had another operation this month. In St. Charles and St. Louis counties, 150 officers from 25 agencies were involved with the central goal of reducing crime and hauling in bad guys. In all, 8 firearms were recovered that were used in a crime or they were stolen. 4 arrests were made for driving while intoxicated, and 7 arrests were made for drug offenses. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
Senator Josh Hawley says he does not support President Trump's plan to lower the cost of beef.
Senator Hawley, whose wife was a cattle farmer, is in opposition to Trump's plan to import beef from Argentina, saying it would hurt the wrong people.
I don't want to see our cattle ranchers get hurt. They're not the problem here. I'm not in favor of depressing the price for cattle ranchers, and I'm not in favor of buying foreign beef from anywhere.
Hawley instead says the real culprit are the meatpacking companies driving up the price, with only 4 major companies making up the majority of the industry. Hawley goes as far as calling them a monopoly, adding they need to be broken up. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Illinois lawmakers don't seem interested in congressional redistricting, but they're getting high-profile pressure to do it. Here's Roger Plummer.
Lawmakers are back in Springfield next week for the final days of their fall veto session. Capitol News Illinois reports that U.S. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is urging state legislative leaders to put a new congressional map on the agenda. However, Illinois lawmakers say the redistricting talk is coming from D.C., and one Democrat state legislator reportedly said, "There is no world where I see this happening."
Monroe County Sheriff's deputies say a 61-year-old Waterloo woman died in a head-on collision late Wednesday afternoon. It happened on Bluff Road in Columbia. Deputies say an SUV driven by a 21-year-old Millstadt man crossed the center line to pass another vehicle and caused the crash. COVID vaccines may help some cancer patients. KMOX health editor Fred Bottomer reports.
New research in the journal Nature looked at patients with advanced lung or skin cancer who are taking certain immunotherapy drugs and found those who happened to receive a COVID mRNA vaccine around the time they started that immune therapy lived significantly longer. Lead researcher Dr. Adam Grippin at MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston.
mRNA vaccines, even those that are widely available, might be used as a tool to reprogram patients' immune systems to kill cancer.
Dr. Grippin says COVID mRNA vaccines act as a siren to activate the immune system, reprogramming it to kill cancer cells. His team is now planning a clinical trial. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
Despite the government shutdown, the Arch is open, and this weekend is celebrating the 60th anniversary of its completion. There will be activities there all day, Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday, which is the official anniversary. A coalition of local nonprofits and businesses paying to keep downtown's National Park open through November 2nd. From the business desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. The World Live Fire Champion crown goes to Mike Johnson of Sugar Fire Smokehouse. Johnson was crowned at the World Food Championships competition in Indianapolis. It's his second WFC crown. He won the World Burger Champion title in 2021. It's now 8:08. We will check traffic and the weather in 2 minutes.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
Hey, St. Louis, the MLS Next Pro playoffs are here. Join us at Energizer Park as #1 seed St. Louis City 2 continue their run for the MLS Next Pro Cup. See the future of City SC soccer when City 2 take on Minnesota United 2 in the Western Conference semifinals this Sunday, October 26th at 5 p.m. Face painting, player autographs, and fun for the whole family. Tickets are only $16. Get yours now at stlcitysc.com/tickets.
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman. Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, basketball is back. And Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. You can make entries and win money right now in Missouri. Playing on Underdog is easy. You just choose whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on points, rebounds, steals, and many other stats. Get your entries right, and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. That's really important. Again, download code TOM to score $100 in bonus funds or bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code TOM. Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit ncpgambling.org.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts. Now the news at 1 the fun. It's the Dave Glover Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's 8:10, and make sure you stay with us here on Total Information AM. Coming up after traffic and weather, I'm going to have an important conversation with 3 men who have taken care of their wives who have Alzheimer's. First, though, let's get a check of the roads with Roger Brand. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Oh, Megan, we got a little bit of trouble on northbound 270 as you approach 64. We have a crash. It looks like it's in the left lane. I can barely see the flashing lights off in the distance there. North 270 jams at Manchester, approaching Manchester, up to the crash just before 64. So just be prepared. That one is the most recent trouble spot since we last spoke. Eastbound 70 is better, but I'm still going to call it slow stretches east of Forestell, most of the way into Wentzville Parkway. After that, you're good to go. Eastbound 64, that's a little busy briefly east of Winghaven, but other than that, really no big deal. Northbound 55, slow into 67. It's slow between Bayless and Weber downtown. The bridges are clear, but eastbound 64 still jammed approaching 50 into Greenmount Road in that construction area. Next update at 8:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
KMOX AccuWeather, some sun followed by increasing clouds today, perhaps a shower toward evening, the high 63. Tonight, cloudy, a stray shower mainly after midnight, low 51. Tomorrow, cloudy, a brief shower or two in the area, high 59. Sunday, cloudy and cool with a bit of rain at times and a high of 57. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Sunny skies right now, 41 in Florissant, 39 in St. Peter's, 39 degrees, downtown at the Arch. This is Total Information AM on 104.1 FM KMOX. I'm Megan Lynch. Tomorrow, hundreds of people will join in the St. Louis Walk to End Alzheimer's. Among those families will be husbands who have taken on the role of caregivers for their wives.
None of us took a class in school on how to handle Alzheimer's patient. None of us took a class as we got married and moved down the path. These are all new things that we're going to have to learn and understand as to what is really going on.
That's Bill Bomarito. He's part of a men's support group sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association Greater Missouri chapter. His wife, Margaret, was diagnosed about 4 years ago.
I was suspecting something was going on with Margaret, but she had put the dishes away and coming out of the dishwasher. And we've been doing that for 40 years at this house. And I said, great, take care of that. And I did something else. I came back, I went to go get a dish, and the dishes were up there, but they were in completely disarray. And it really was an aha moment for me that something is happening.
John Hoffman's wife was diagnosed with Alzheimer's in 2015.
You come in kind of with blinders, not knowing what to expect. You learn so much from learning others who have gone through the journey and maybe a year or 2 or 3 or 10 years ahead of you. And you just learn so much from others, and I can't say enough.
His wife's journey ended in January of 2021.
Since then, I decided that the support group helped me so much that I really wanted to give back. So subsequently, I have volunteered both as a co-facilitator for a support group, as well as I'm on the planning committee for the walk, which will be held this coming Saturday out at the Chesterfield Amphitheater.
Andy Rochelski has been helping his wife, Mary, for a decade. He drew from what he'd heard in the men's support group to advocate for her after she recently broke her hip.
Mary and I have been together 64 years. And what I'm experiencing and have been experiencing is just a slight movement of distance every day as the process continues. This felt like a big leap toward end stage. And at this point, one of the things that I have to really compliment the support group about was that there were several guys over the years that have experienced their wives having surgery. And the big warning that we all received was anesthesia can be a real big factor as far as recovery cognitively. And so being, her primary advocate, I spent a lot of time with pre-surgery with the surgeon and anesthesia, making sure that they understood how important it was to monitor that and modify, eliminate it as much as possible.
What all of these husbands say is that they've learned how to be patient and flexible.
We come up with plans for our day-to-day household and over our 24 hours a day that we're going to do certain things. Those plans may only be in place for a week or two. And then if Margaret slips a little bit, we got to come up with a new plan. So you are constantly changing to try to create a better environment for yourself, but obviously more importantly for your spouse as you move forward.
You just have to adapt, change direction or whatever, pivot, so to speak, because every case is different. Every spouse is different, I guess you'd say, as far as caregivers go. So, you have to, we've had people come in and say, oh, I'm all I want to do is argue with my wife. And the first thing we say is that's the absolute worst thing you can do. And I learned that firsthand, and you'll learn by doing.
As I age, I don't have quite the energy level I used to. I get tired. And the way the disease seems to work is that Mary's freshest in the morning, but as she goes through her day trying to figure out who she is, where she is, making sense out of what her brain is scrambling, she gets tired too. So by afternoon, she starts to experience sundowning, which is one of the characteristics that happens as far as Alzheimer's is concerned. And I get a little bit more tired at that same time. So I have to really be much more careful about paying attention to me and how I respond to her.
Men in the support group not only teach each other how to meet the needs of their wives, but also how to take care of themselves as caregivers. And they share how they grow as their relationship with the women they cherish changes every day.
Your spouse lives in the moment, and you, as their caregiver, get to not only experience that, but learn how to do that too. And I'm finding life to be so much more rich by just being in the moment with her and changing as, I've come to realize that she can't change. Of the two of us, I'm the one that has to do all the changing. So I'm really growing tremendously from the blessings of Alzheimer's.
It's a different kind of love. Excuse me. You just don't experience because you're so busy with your life previously, and you're both moving in not different directions. You're moving together. You're a supportive group, but but you're accomplishing what you need to accomplish as two adults moving forward. Well, now that has changed dramatically. And so you just look at your situation so differently. Yet at the same time, we talk about it in our classes, for each of our wives, today is their best day because tomorrow's going to be a little less. And that's hard to accept all the time.
Special thanks to Bill Bomarito, Andy Rochelski, and John Hoffman for joining me in studio for that conversation. And you can hear that at KMOX.com. Our producer, Frank Ladd, is loading that right now. Now, if you need help, you can reach out to the 24/7 Alzheimer's Association helpline, 800-272-3900. Again, that's 800-272-3900. And I hope you will join all of us at the St. Louis Walk to End Alzheimer's. It's tomorrow morning at Chesterfield Amphitheater in Central Park. Registration opens at 8 a.m. And for more information, you can go to alz.org/walk. Coming up on Total Information AM, we're going to visit with Keith Fisher. He's the head coach for Lindenwood University Men's Division I hockey. They've got some big weekend games against Miami of Ohio, and he's going to give us a preview on that. And then it's also a drug take-back day tomorrow. We're going to tell you about a resource that'll help you find some great places to drop off any medications that you need to pull out of your medicine cabinet. Let's get another check of the roads now at 8:19. Roger Brand is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Megan, we still got our problem on northbound 270. This traffic reports a service of the Woodlands of Arnold Senior Living, and it's that crash on northbound 270 just south of 64, left lane, or maybe left 2 lanes, hard for me to tell, are blocked. It's jammed approaching Manchester on northbound 270. I can't see a problem, but northbound 55 now is jammed from the Union Road overpass up through Weber. All I see is the lane closure as you approach River to Bear in the construction zone itself. Lane closures due to construction on the Illinois side. Still have a jam on eastbound 64 approaching Route 50 through Greenmount Road. Again, later on today, we'll see that on the westbound side. And eastbound 70, better, but it's still slow from David Hochul into Wentzville Parkway due to road work that ran late earlier. Next update at 8:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Thank you, Roger. And checking that forecast for today, it looks like we're going to have sun to start, but we may see more clouds as the day goes on because there's a possibility of some showers toward evening. Expect a high around 63 degrees. Cloudy with a stray shower tonight, mainly after midnight, an overnight low of 51. Tomorrow, cloudy, a brief shower or two, a high of 59. And then Sunday, cloudy and cool, occasional rain, a high of 57. Currently, we have sunshine, 39 degrees downtown at the Arch.
The Woodlands of Arnold campus offers skilled rehab, a beautiful assisted living community, and a secure memory care to keep your loved ones safe. Check us out at rspseniorliving.com. That's rspseniorliving.com.
At Ophthalmology Associates, their goal is to ensure that every one of their patients enjoys the best possible eyesight at every stage of their life. This is Rick Wallace, and I've been through several life stages with Ophthalmology Associates. I've trusted them with my eye care for almost 30 years. Doctors Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, and Royer head up a network of leading specialists in every field of eye health. They're involved in leading-edge research and equipped with the latest technology to handle the most complex situations. And there is always personalized eye care tailored to your individual needs and preferences at Ophthalmology and Associates. Oh yeah, pediatric eye care too, and a full-service optical shop. Ophthalmology Associates. Visit youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000.
Debt payments keeping you up at night. Credit cards, medical bills, personal loans, it can all add up.
and feel impossible to keep up. If you owe $10,000 or more in unsecured debt, JG Wentworth may be able to help you and put you on the path to freedom in as little as 24 to 48 months. Imagine one affordable monthly payment instead of juggling multiple bills and creditors. We've helped thousands of people cut their debt by up to 50% before fees, and we don't get paid unless we reduce your debt. The more you owe, the more you could save. Call 877-CASH now. The call is free, the consultation is free, and there's no obligation to sign up. Call today for your free consultation. 877-CASH now. That's 877-CASH now. Don't wait. Every day you delay could cost you more. Call 877-CASH now today. Results vary, not all debts qualify. Debt resolution impacts credit and may increase what you owe. Average savings before fees 43%, 25% after fees. The choice to stop paying creditors is yours. JG Wentworth does not pay debts or provide legal, tax, or credit repair services.
Sponsored by Progressive. We make the claims process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at progressive.com.
You're back with Total Information AM here on KMOX. I'm Megan Lynch. Lindenwood's Division I men's hockey team heads into a big weekend against Miami of Ohio. The Lindenwood Lions have won 3 of their last 4 games, and I've invited head coach Keith Fisher to the show this morning. Coach, thanks for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having me. Excited to be on.
Let's talk about your team. What are their strengths going into this weekend?
Well, I think we're a team that works really hard, and we work for everything that we get. And, we're not the most talented group, but when we play as a team, I think we can have success, and they've been doing that lately.
What do you expect out of the matchup this weekend?
Well, I mean, Miami's a tough team, and, traditionally a powerhouse. They play in the NCHC, which is one of the top leagues in college hockey, and they're a brand new team. They got a brand new staff a year ago, so don't know a ton about their team just because I think they brought in 16 new players, probably similar to us, but I know their coach, Anthony Noreen, for years did a great job in the USHL, and they're going to come at us in waves, and I know they got a lot of high-end talent. I know their first line is really skilled, potential first-rounder, and the Morozov kid, and Delic and Giampo is a transfer from Canisius that's off to a hot start. So we're going to have to slow that top line down.
How do you get that early goal and get on top first?
Well, I mean, that's something that we talked about yesterday in practice. We're going to kind of adjust our pregame routine a little bit because we've only scored the first goal once in 6 games, and we've only had the lead after the first period once. So I give the team a lot of credit. They're resilient and bouncing back, but we need to have better starts. So we're going to try to adjust a couple things pregame to see if that'll help.
Realistically, for people listening, when you get a bunch of new guys on a team, how long does it take really to get them to gel and pull them together?
That's a great question. I mean, you never know. And, this being my first time being a head coach and at a new school, there's a learning process, me to them and them to me, as far as, learning what I'm teaching. It's all new language and verbiage and, doing things just a little different. So, I think they picked some things up pretty quick, but there's still a trust process, and, trust is earned, and, I'm still trying to earn their trust, and, they're trying to earn my trust as well. So it's a feeling out process, but, a big part is I've, since I took the job in June, I've tried to, reach out to all the guys individually to try to get to know them better, what makes them tick, and what makes them a better hockey player. So it's just a process. It's not something that you can just snap your fingers at and say, we're together, we're a team, and we're going to do this. So, but I give the guys credit. We're a way better team than we were a month ago, but hopefully in December, we're a better team then as well.
Head coach Keith Fisher of Lindenwood Division I men's hockey, thank you so much for joining me this morning, and hopefully we can get some listeners out to Centene tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we'd love to get more people out. I look at last weekend, we had Denver over at Centene, their top 5 program, especially the game on Friday, the game we won. I thought that was a high level hockey game, and like I said, the talent at Division I hockey right now is at an all-time high, and these are guys that you're going to be seeing play for the St. Louis Blues or opposing teams in the NHL in the future. So some teams are awesome ability to watch hockey in. Like I look at our series before, they're fast, big-time plays being made, scoring chances. A lot of fun for the family to come out and watch hockey. So it's a great product.
All right, Coach, thanks so much. Good luck.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
That is Lindenwood's head coach, Keith Fisher. They're playing Miami of Ohio. And again, we mentioned the puck drops tonight at 7:10 at Centene Community Ice Center in Maryland Heights. Same game time tomorrow night as well for that matchup against Miami of Ohio. Coming up, we're going to tell you it's Drug Take Back Day tomorrow. We're going to tell you about a website where you can plug in your zip code and find out places to drop off those old meds that are in your medicine cabinet. It's 8:27 now. This time check sponsored by Jerry Kelley Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Maybe this weekend, spend some time at St. Louis Public Library, either Central Library or any of the 13 neighborhood branches. There is always something going on. And if you visit Central, you can get a free docent-led tour of one of our city's most beautiful buildings and get a souvenir postcard at the same time. By the way, join us on Book Chat with Debbie Monterrey in St. Louis Public Library. That is our Facebook group. And I do a live author interview once a month. And coming up on Tuesday at noon, it's Kathy Reichs, Dr. Kathy Reichs. If you're a fan of Bones, well, meet Kathy Reichs, the brilliant mind behind Temperance Brennan and the producer of the hit TV series Bones. Her best-selling novels have been called brilliant, terrifying, and gripping. Kathy is going to join us to talk about her newest thriller, Evil Bones, and you'll only hear it and see it on Book Chat with Debbie Monterrey and St. Louis Public Library. So join us today. Remember that there are millions of items that you can download from the privacy of your own home at slpl.org.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
If you need a new garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are now open for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. The winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of their choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. You can't win if you don't enter at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
8:30, time for another check of the roads with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we got better news on North 270 now, Megan. This traffic reports the service of the Drug Enforcement Administration. They cleared that crash northbound 270 at 64. Traffic still jammed approaching Manchester up through the Clayton Road overpass. Then it starts picking up the pace after that. There's a crash involving a tractor trailer on the ramp from eastbound 70 onto eastbound 370. It looks like maybe one of the ramp lanes blocked, so it's just slow going past there, not jammed. Northbound 55, still a little delay into 67. Still this backup north of the Union Road overpass up through Weber to about River to Perrin. We still have this roadwork jam on eastbound 64, stop and go most of the way from approaching Route 50 through Greenmount Road at this time. And also seeing some slow traffic westbound 270 across the Chain of Rocks through Riverview and North County. Next update at 8:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
DEA's National Prescription Drug Takeback Day. Learn more at DEATakeback.com.
Our community safe and healthy during National Prescription Drug Takeback Day, October 25th. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent drug misuse before it starts.
From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, we're looking for some sun today, but increasing clouds throughout the day. A shower toward evening, a high of 63. Cloudy with a stray shower tonight, mainly after midnight, with a low of 51. Right now, sunshine, 40 downtown at the Arch. As you just heard, tomorrow is the DEA's Drug Take-Back Day. So this is the weekend to go through your medicine cabinets and safely dispose of unused and outdated prescriptions. Irina Butler is executive director for the Pharmaceutical Product Stewardship Work Group, membership association of manufacturers, wholesalers, distributors, and they've developed a website called myoldmeds.com to help you find those places to drop off your pill bottles.
We do know that proper management and disposal of drugs from households also combats drug abuse and drug diversion and accidental ingestion and poisoning. So it is a very important issue, one that we, again, would like to highlight. And myoldmeds.com is an easy, free resource to leverage and to use to find those disposal locations near your home or your place of work. myoldmeds.com showcases existing infrastructure. And you're right, they're located in law enforcement agencies, these kiosks, they are in pharmacies, in government buildings. And so they're available 365 days a year. And if not, that's also identified in myoldmeds.com by ensuring that each site has the hours of operation and the address and any additional details. But yeah, I mean, it's really leveraging all that is available. And, instead of searching for where to go and how to dispose, and it's all available on myoldmeds.com.
So what happens with those medications when you drop them off at a kiosk?
That's a great question. They are safely disposed of. So the site in question that is responsible for the destruction and disposal of those medicines follow many regulations and laws to ensure that that is done in a compliant fashion. I don't want to speak for those sites, of course, but there are a lot of regulations, per the DEA and the DOT, even for transport of these medicines. So there's a lot that goes in there for sure.
What did it take to pull all of that together and map it for people to use so easily?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of work. It was a lot. It was definitely a prioritized effort by PPSWG and our member companies. And not only was it a big effort to establish this resource, it's a big effort to maintain the resource. We verify the data twice a year to make sure that it's accurate and it's up to date. And if residents leverage it, the kiosk is there and it is open and it is accepting those unwanted and unused products. So we're very proud of myoldmeds.com. We usually get a lot of really great feedback on it, and it's not top of mind for folks. What do I do with all this medicine in my medicine cabinet?
So how does it work? Do you just put in your zip code?
Yeah, it's right on the homepage. You put in your zip code, and then many resources are populated for you that are within either a couple of minutes of a drive, a walk, depending on obviously where you are. And yeah, it showcases where those drop-off locations are, whether it's in a pharmacy, a law enforcement agency, and so on and so forth. It shares a lot of details with you on exactly what's accepted in those locations, what's not accepted, hours of operation, things like that. And then myoldmeds.com also has a lot of resources that we leverage. We point to the FDA guidance, and we, circulate, we kind of include all the generally FAQs, the questions that we all have when kind of going through this process. So we're really proud of it.
That's Irina Butler, Executive Director for the Pharmaceutical Product Stewardship Work Group. Your Money Report is next.
The bad news? Prices are rising everywhere. The good news? We can help. As health insurance brokers, our services are free. We work for you, not the insurance companies. But what type of insurance can we investigate for you? Do you need health insurance for yourself, family, or business? Have you considered life, dental, vision, or accident supplements? Let us explore your options with you. Call Bill Pauly and his team at the Pauly Agency. We put the sure in insurance. For a free quote, call 636-222-2149. That's 636-222-2149.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
It's 8:37. Time for your money report. It's sponsored by Eamon Gatner and Capriano Elder Law Attorneys.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Market futures are trending higher with less than an hour to go before a much-delayed key inflation readings released. Economists expect core inflation to hold steady at 3.1%. Banks are preparing to launch a record $38 billion debt offering to help fund data centers tied to Oracle. The deal is split across two facilities, one for a data center in Texas, another for a project in Wisconsin. They'll be used to power OpenAI. Target's eliminating about 8% of corporate roles in its first major restructuring in years. The retail giant's cutting 1,800 roles across various teams and seniority levels, including layoffs and the closing of 800 open positions. Target's struggling to get out of a rut caused by soft demand, inventory missteps, and backlash over its DEI policies. And Disney's warning viewers ESPN and ABC could go dark on YouTube TV when a deal between them expires next week. The companies are debating programming rates. Monica Ricks, Bloomberg Radio.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-908-8646 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-908-8646. That's 800-908-8646. What do you have to lose? Call 800-908-8646. Again, 800-908-8646.
Cardinal Cowboy here. After a coma, a miracle, and the fight of my life, I made it back to the games wearing my signature cowboy hat and jersey. Then came the baseball pants, the replica trophy, and the smiles and joy from the young fans. That's when the Cardinal Cowboy was born. Renner Garage Door knows how to bring joy too. With top brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster, and family service you can trust, get your free repair or replacement quote today. Forward and back. Giddy up!
RENNER, RENNER. Want to build income without a second job? Learn how real estate investing can help you create extra income one step at a time with Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
This is 104.1 FM KMOX. Here's what's happening. Friday's inflation report likely to show consumer prices worsened in September for the second straight month. The machinist union leadership now agreeing to let its members vote on Boeing's latest contract offer this Sunday. And Senator Josh Hawley tells KMOX he doesn't support President Trump's plan to lower the cost of beef by importing more from Argentina, saying it will hurt cattle farmers. Let's get a check of the road, see if things are winding down. Roger Brand is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good for the most part, Megan. This traffic report's a service of Duke's Mayonnaise. I mentioned last time up they cleared that crash, North 270 at 64. It's still slow, not jammed, just slow. north of Manchester up to Ladue. Working that crash on the ramp from eastbound 70 onto eastbound 370. A little bit of a jam up on the ramp. I think one of the lanes is blocked on that 2-lane ramp. That crash did involve a tractor trailer. Northbound to 55 still slow into 67. Just a little busy between Bayless and River to Pear. Not that bad there. And we still have this roadwork jam eastbound 64 from 50 past Greenmount Road. I'm Roger Brand at the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise.
This is the Duke's country song. It's a song about the best mayo. Has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo at Hannaford. It's got twang.
Time for the Friday edition of Hancock and Kelley.
You two belong together.
John Hancock, Michael Kelley on 104.1 FM, King of OX.
How's it going, big boy?
Fine. Did you stay up and watch that hockey game last night?
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
I relegated it to the kitchen television.
Yeah.
Because I had the football game, which also was not entertaining.
No, neither game was good.
Family room.
Right. So. The football game was on Prime, so you had to jump between the stupid things.
So rather than jumping, I walked, thereby increasing my number of steps.
So at my watch party last night, we were talking about how cool the Blues jersey is.
Yeah.
And it's a cool jersey.
It's a fine looking.
That Utah jersey looks silly, just with Utah across the front of it. Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
It was pretty boring.
I agree.
Didn't have all that pizzazz.
They're the woolly mammoths.
Is that what they are?
That's what they are.
That's extinct.
They are.
They are. Hey, let's talk about President Trump. He seems to have consumed the year. And since we were talking about aesthetic things, let's talk about his ballroom first, John.
All right.
I'm sure you were shocked, like everybody has been, watching the bulldozers literally tear down the entire east wing of the White House.
Every American that has gone on a White House tour, millions of people, have walked through that east wing on their way into the house itself. Yeah, it was, I don't know, there was something very unsettling about watching those, whatever they are, bulldozers plowing
just
into that
building. Pull it down. And then you saw some of the brick. I mean, you can tell some of that brick's from the 1800s that was there that they were tearing down there that was right up against the White House. And I don't know, so it's so sad to watch. And then you see the size and scope of this ballroom, $300 million, John. We laid a bunch of people off. We had Doge go and cut hundreds of millions of dollars here and there. It was all about saving money for stuff. And now we're going to spend $300 million. That's grown.
Well, he says that he's paying for it. He and some donors.
Yeah. But let's put aside the ballroom for a second. What I don't like most about it is that he's going to be the guy who decorates it.
Right.
I think his decorating skill, I think the guy's a Hoosier. With the way he puts gold everywhere, but like he's got this like Liberace style / funeral home look that he likes to have everywhere.
That's interesting. Yeah,
big, large gold, candle holders and then stuff on the walls. It's tacky.
So is that your unique take that you told me about? Okay, we're not the same. Here's my unique take.
All right, what's your unique take?
There has to be asbestos in that building.
Yeah.
Yeah. Based on the time period in which it was constructed.
Right.
And there's no mitigation.
No, I didn't think about that.
And there's no mitigation. They didn't file any kind of paperwork when you tear down a building,
federal government's building,
there are environmental things that have to be done and different forms that have to be construction. People that do contracting will tell you that none of that exists in this project.
And he's broken every procedure there is. He hasn't gone through the proper thing. Well, and everybody says, well, why are they allowed to do this? When you have a Congress that doesn't have a check on you, who's to think some, association is going to have a check on you? And then this morning we wake up to the President of the United States tweeting out that he is ending all trade talks with Canada over the fact that they ran a TV commercial that he wound up seeing on social media. It hurt his feelings. He feels like it misrepresented the words of Ronald Reagan. And we are dictating international policy based on the whims and feelings of the president at 2:00 in the morning when he's up to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, the tariff policy, I've said from the beginning, before the beginning, it's horrible. Tariffs are horrible, and they affect us. We're paying these tariffs, and they painfully little benefit. You could have a strategic tariff, for national security purposes on steel, for example. That's understandable, but this wholesale across the board tariffs on every country except Russia is bad for the economy. It's inflationary. Inflation's up, just reported this morning.
And our farmers are getting killed by this, right? And
Yes.
they're waiting for some type of bailout, which the president says he's going to do. By the way, this crisis is imposed on them as a result of these tariffs. Then the president announces the other day he's going to give $40 billion to Argentina to purchase their beef when our own beef farmers can't. I mean,
he's giving him $40 billion and purchasing their beef.
And you just have to wonder what the people who voted for him, a lot of them were farmers. A lot of them are getting hurt by these tariffs. A lot of them thought that the outlandish spending of the Obama years, et cetera, and Biden was what they wanted to curb. And now their standard bearer is the one who's doing this. He's the one that's spending the money. He's the one that's bailing out.
And they are going to bail out.
Countries.
And they are going to bail out the farmers. Josh Hawley introduced legislation this morning to do that. But, the government, they say, is shut down. I sent a check to the IRS last week.
Really?
They cashed it.
Yes. Well, it's closed down for all of the essential services. That is the most essential. I don't think it ever stops collecting its money.
They cashed it.
Yeah.
We'll be back. It's Hancock and Kelley. We'll see you around the corner right here on KMOX.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan, along with Dr. Colleen Bosler and Dr. Adam Voss at the Audiology Center. When was the last time you really enjoyed a conversation without straining to hear?
Charlie, so many people think hearing aids just make things louder.
But that's old technology. Today's hearing aids do so much more.
Exactly. With the dual chip technology, our hearing aids actually separate the speech from the background noise.
Which means at a noisy restaurant, you'll hear your friends and family, not the clinking dishes.
And the best part, your brain doesn't have to work overtime trying to fill in the blanks.
So that keeps your mind sharp, your conversations easy, and your relationships stronger.
Because hearing well isn't just about sound, it's about staying connected.
Thanks, Doctor. Call the Audiology Center today to schedule your annual hearing evaluation. Don't miss another moment. Call 636-441-7470 or visit theaudiologycenterstl.com.
From your friends at Lombardo Homes, congrats to Dave Glover and the DGS Show on 25 years of building something great. Thanks for keeping St. Louis entertained, informed, and laughing all along the way.
The DGS Halloween show is back, and you can hear it first on Friday, October 31st, starting at 4 p.m. Hear all about their ghost hunting experience and all the thrills and chills the show experienced this year. And to check out the ghost adventures from the past 20 years, head to KMOX.com/Halloween. The DGS Halloween Show, presented by Lore Wine and Spirits. Try Ghost Tequila today, the perfect spicy spirit to bring your Halloween celebrations to the next level.
And welcome back to the Voice of St. Louis. That guy over there is John Hancock. I'm Michael Kelley. And John, one of the things that scares me the most with like young people today, I'm grateful I don't have kids because I know we spend a lot of time telling kids to not do drugs. You shouldn't do drugs. You don't drink, blah, blah, blah. But these betting apps terrify me because I know what I would have been like as an 18-year-old boy with that in my hand, that instant glorification of being able to do that. I refuse to download them. Well, now we're seeing that maybe even the betting system is corrupted from inside. The NBA has this huge scandal that gets announced yesterday from the FBI. By the way, still no Epstein files. Kash Patel still working on that, but he did roll out this big announcement on the NBA. All this betting stuff that was going on. A head coach of an NBA team was arrested. Active players
NBA
were
Hall
arrested.
of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. And you look at this stuff and then watching the games last night, every other commercial that wasn't insurance was somebody trying to get me to download a betting app and to bet on these games and make your wagers on something that's totally legit.
Well, I put this under the category of things where I say, what could possibly go wrong, right? Is it a surprise, given human nature, that athletes are going to, manipulate the system for the benefit of their friends because they can, and it's not just the betting on the outcome of the game, which I think, that's one thing. Hard to rig that. The White Sox did it in 1919, but hard to rig it. But these prop bets where you can literally bet on how many points or how many rebounds you're going to score.
How many minutes somebody's going to play.
How many minutes you're going to play. Very easily manipulated. And this is, I think, probably just scratching the surface.
Well, it has to be, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously the NBA, nobody there is having to shake their tin can to raise themselves so many money. These are folks who've got bank. And they're tempted to participate in there. There's other sports. College kids are out there.
Sure, college kids. They've got, and these players, these multimillionaire players, they've got siblings. They've got cousins. They got, and what an easy way to make bank. It's just, the temptation to do this is incredible. And I guarantee you that this is fairly widespread throughout these games, where you can bet on the individual performance of individual athletes in a team sport, and when the integrity of the sport is gone, the sport itself is gone.
Well, and maybe we are about to just see the tip of this, because, when you look at these apps, you can bet on any football game that's happening in the country.
Right.
Lindenwood, we all know the name Lindenwood. I can promise you nobody in California knows the name Lindenwood.
Yep.
There are schools all like that all across the country where you can go bet on these games.
Yeah.
And if you get some young kid that doesn't know what he's up to or she's up to and gets talked into doing something, you really could have quite a scandal. I don't know how you stop it. I don't know how you police it. I don't know how you, if they're doing it in the NBA, how are you going to stop it everywhere else?
I guarantee you it's widespread. And, one way you could police it, I suppose, although you've already opened Pandora's box here. It's legal everywhere. But one way you could police it is to just eliminate the prop bets.
Right.
So you can bet on the outcome of the game and the point spread of the game and whatever. And that would eliminate the temptation to do things that I'm certain are widespread throughout all athletics. The sport that had the most corruption recently was tennis.
Really?
There are all of these tennis leagues around the world, and you could bet on all of them, and the players, because that's a mano-a-mano game, right?
Right. And
players would throw games, tennis matches, and bet on it, and there were dozens and dozens and dozens of people caught up in that thing. It's been about 3 or 4 years ago. We've seen it in snooker.
Yeah.
A
bunch of Chinese guys.
A group of Chinese snooker players were throwing matches.
Can you imagine
and gambling on it?
Being thrown?
I would think Yan Bing Tao, who was a really good
sharps
player,
and snooker betting world would immediately be able to spot that guy's cheating.
Oh yeah, totally.
Hey, before we go, we probably ought to end on one political thing. I've got to talk to you about this sheriff of the police, sheriff in the city of St. Louis, who now sits in jail.
Yeah,
been arrested under federal charges. This all started with this guy running. I think he wanted to play sheriff. Now he's putting out decrees likening himself to Rosa Parks and MLK. I just wonder if he's sitting in jail now. Don't you think the sobriety of the situation would help him start to realize, like, I need to get my head right. Like, I'm amazed this man is not figuring a way out of this situation, which is to go away.
Yeah, I'm not a mental health therapist or anything, but people do suffer from a lot of conditions, and he bears the signs of somebody that is.
But it's the Kim Gardner brand, right? I'm not going to let down. I'm going to continue to fight. And then everybody that comes out on Front Street for them and advocates for them later has egg on their face because it was as what it appeared to be. It was all a ruse.
Well, we used to have entities that kind of policed our candidates.
Right.
Political parties.
Political parties, yeah.
And they would identify candidates that probably shouldn't run, and they'd make a point, to find somebody that could run and do the job successfully. Well, political parties as institutions are effectively gone today.
Well, and as a result, we have most of the campaigns really don't take place between Democrats and Republicans. It happens in primaries, which makes it even more extreme.
Yep, and Chris and Amy are coming up right around the corner here on KMOX.
Hancock and Kelley with us to start the show on this Friday. We will discuss the escalating trade war with Canada. Also, if you've got a brush with the paranormal, we'd like to hear about it. Send us a voice message on the Odyssey app or leave us a text message at 314-436-7900. Chris and Amy starts right after the news on KMOX.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV.